phone. I really don't need it.
Hey, you're gonna have to answer those tweets from
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tates Creek High School tonight for high school football as we kick off season 2017. Gary Ball with Coach Mike Meehan and also William Moorfield producing. Tonight, the Commodores entertain a very good Henry Clay football team here in the first game. And, Coach, going to be a busy night. Later tonight, your former Bryan Station Defenders that you were assistant coach with for so long, they will take on a very good football team as Bryan Station will battle Lafayette in the nightcap tonight. So we got a full slate of football here tonight to kick off the 2017 campaign here on PrepSpin with the King of Stream, William Moorfield.
Aren't you glad it's here?
Yes, sir.
This is football season, buddy.
That's
I'm
right.
telling you what, and I'm not kidding people. This is the kind of thing that Gary and I wait for all year long. What a great way to start the season with these two games.
Yeah, Tates Creek comes in. I was telling William Moorfield off the air there, they've got a 2,000-yard passer back in Cameron Workman. They got a 1,000-yard rusher back in LaRon Warner. A good bevy of receivers on that Tates Creek football team. So this should be a pretty potent Commodore offensive attack this year, led by Cameron Workman, the senior quarterback who started last year as a junior for Coach Antoine Sims. And they got 4 starters back on the offensive line.
They do, and they've done real well in these passing competitions of what I heard. And you personally know the receiver coach for Tates Creek, and he does a fine job. Hawk does a fine job with these guys.
And Henry Clay, we saw a burst of brilliance from Langston Jackson last year. Coach, if you remember, we did that Bluegrass Bowl over at Lexington Catholic, and he really turned it on against Sorrel. Then he got the injury early in the year. They're going to start Bo Carroll at quarterback. And, Coach, as a quarterback guru yourself, what are you going to be looking for number 12 for Henry Clay as he makes his first start for the Blue Devils?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is see how he handles the pressure. You know, you think about it. Being out here in this game, it's hot. First game of the year against a rival football team. That's the cool thing. I mean, they're not coming up with some patsy. They're playing in a rival game. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for his composure on the field. The second thing I'm going to do, Gary, is I'm going to look for his feet. If his feet are right, he's going to play well. We'll see how he handles the stress, the pressure, and how he handles the fundamentals of his feet. Again, quarterback's pretty important position, especially here at this early in the season. So we'll check them out. We'll check both quarterbacks out and kind of give an evaluation as it goes along.
Looking forward to it. Live tonight on PrepSpin with the King of Stream, William Moorfield producing. Gary Ball with Coach Mike Meehan will have his UFOs at halftime. Looking forward to that. We'll take this break and come back with more here. Thanks to all of our sponsors here on PrepSpin. Of course, the Scholastic Ball Report coming up in Labor Day weekend, Coach. We'll kick it off here in about a week or so out at the CWKYT. We'll be back on PrepSpin with the lineups and the kickoffs here, Tates Creek and Henry Clay.
My tax refund usually helps me out, but this year it was much lower than what it was supposed to be. This isn't enough to get me caught up. What am I supposed to do?
Is this happening to you? We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode.
Bankruptcy could be your best solution.
We're here to give you a fresh financial start.
Say no to debt. Get your bankruptcy started for as little as $78 today. The consultation is free in Lexington and now in London.
I used my credit cards over the holidays, and I thought I could make it work. But between the bills and everything else, I'm really starting to fall behind.
A lot of people out there are drowning in debt.
We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode. You can have a brighter future away from debt.
We've come up with a way to get you started for less.
Say no to debt. Get your bankruptcy started for as little as $78 today. In Lexington and now in London.
Welcome back as the captains are out at midfield here at the football stadium, Roy Walton Stadium. And it is an outstanding night for high school football here at Tates Creek, and a nice home crowd here for Tates Creek along the way. Some of the Henry Clay folks starting to make their way into the field here. Sam Simpson, how about Coach Simpson, Coach, before we get to the lineups here, the dean of high school coaches in Lexington, 24th season. I think Coach McKee up at Scott County is in his 21st, but Coach Simpson, 24th season as the head man here at Henry Clay for the Blue Devils.
I remember when he first came. He came from Marion County, and I had been, I think, 1 year at Dunbar when he stepped in here at Henry Clay, and he's been here ever since. Great guy, just a super guy. Has a really, really good football staff, too. Just can't turn that last knob to get through to a state championship game.
Captains are out on the field, and Coach Meehan will put the glasses on them and see what the coin toss transpires. The lineups, Henry Clay will start at center tonight. Nick Osborne, the 6-foot senior. Spencer Sidebottom and Charlie Henry are your offensive guards. Matt Brixey and Ben Bates are the offensive tackles. Noah Gann is at tight end, 6'3" senior. Quarterback will be Bo Carroll. The backfield will look like this. Tyree Clark at a running back. He's a senior. Isaiah Atkins, a senior, at a running back, and we'll see Langston Jackson back there as well. Mike McMullen and Raymond Jackson are your X and Y receivers. That's for the Henry Clay offense. And now they're moving the captains, and it looks like the white cap is telling us right now that Henry Clay will receive the football. So that offensive unit I gave is correct.
Yeah,
that's who will receive the ball.
Tates Creek won the toss and deferred to the second half.
Their defense will start like this. Brandon Tishner, if he's overcome that injury, will start at defensive tackle with Jacob Klein, Logan Ryan. Garrett Belcher will be a defensive end. Deontay White, Cameron Stewart, middle linebackers. It'll be Jared Bauer, LaRon Warner, Darrell Bell, and also Jaden Baird will be in the secondary for the Commodores tonight for Antoine Sims. Antoine now coach in his 4th year, so these seniors, they've been with Coach Sims and the staff in all 4 of their high school campaigns now. So that something to be said for that as well.
Yeah, and I'm really happy to see that. I like to see these coaches stay for a while, and really develop their programs and get the kids really involved in the things they do on the field and off the field, by the way.
So it will be Henry Clay receiving all to our left as we look down from the press box up here. And Coach Meehan, it is a beautiful night for high school football. Sunny skies, about 80 degrees. That temperature will drop, though, as we get through the evening, as we get toward that second game with Lafayette battling Bryant Station. It'll be a really cool evening. But it feels good up here in the press box. They got to set up with some fans and everything. And, Coach, we're set for some good high school football this year on PrepSpin. And, of course, thanks to Mingy Beef Jerky. Boy, we love that stuff, don't we?
Right, we do. You like the hot stuff some, don't you?
A little bit.
I can't get into
I'm into the mild. I like that Mingy Beef Jerky, the mild.
I do too.
That's good stuff. I like the teriyaki too, by the way.
We had visitors down here for a wedding this
yes,
summer.
I was there.
And they liked it so much, they're ordering it online.
They're ordering it online.
From Indiana.
That's right. You had in your gift basket at the wedding for the folks that were in the wedding party, the groomsmen and the bridesmaids, they all had a little taste of Kentucky, didn't they?
Yeah,
Mingy Beef Jerky.
Yeah, and a few other
tastes of Kentucky. We won't get into that.
No,
some of them are adult beverages.
High school
but that was good stuff. So we're ready now for high school football here as Tates Creek will be kicking from right to left. And the kicker for the Commodores coach is going to be number 92, and that's going to be Combs. So Dozier Combs. Combs will be kicking. Tyree Clark to the far side and Jackson to the near side. Here's the Combs kick, and that's going to be a touchback. Young man's got a leg now.
Yeah,
this young man, number 92, Dozier Combs, has a leg. He kicked that way out of the back of that end zone.
He did.
And it'll bring the football out to the 20-yard line for the Blue Devils. Bo Carroll, coach, under center for the first time for the Blue Devils, the senior quarterback.
Should be interesting. I really like the fact that he came out here early, was throwing the football around, working on his arm, and so on. So,
three-man front for the Commodore defense, and boy, they've got a lot of linebackers back there, Coach. I count 4, maybe 5 linebackers there for the Commodores. Shifting out to the right side is Tyree Clark. They got twins out there, and out of the shotgun will be quarterback Carroll. Sends Jackson in motion. Carroll fakes, and he's only going to get about a half a yard. Great defense there by the Commodore defense, and in particular, big number 50 there for Tates Creek was on top of that play. That's Van Horn, I think it was, Coach.
Yeah, number 50. Van Horn. Yeah.
Good job there by Gant Hayden, making a nice play. Half a yard gain there, but he faked to Jackson, who was coming in motion. He split out to the far side now. Carroll kept it, but Tates Creek defense all over that one.
Yeah, but it's a good idea to get him hit. You know, get him in that first lick to kind of get him into the game. New quarterback.
Movement.
Yeah, looks like Tates Creek is in a 3-4 look this time.
And actually, DJ Van Horn I see in there. Number 10 is at quarterback, not Bo Carroll, who was given to us as the starter. So Van Horn is in there, number 10. And that movement, that penalty would take them back to the 16, where to be 2nd down and 15 now.
Interesting. A little change. They tricked you on that one.
Yeah, they brought in Van Horn there after they gave us the starting quarterback as Bo Carroll. See what they do here. 2nd and long for the Blue Devils. Back to pass, Van Horn looks, throws, and it's caught. And it's caught by Clark. And Clark up to the 22-yard line, where he picks up about 7 yards. So good pass there by Van Horn to Tyree Clark, who picks up 7. Brings up 3rd down at about 8, Coach, maybe 7.
Van Horn threw a nice ball that time. They ran a little hook there in the on the hash mark there, and he put the ball right on the money.
So 3rd down here at the 23-yard line for the Blue Devils as they get the completion from Van Horn to Clark. So Van Horn now with the completion. 3rd down and 7. And we are, thanks to Darren Douglas for getting us set up. Thanks to Leanne Clark from WL Stats with the monitor, Coach. You can see it. It's right there. So 3rd and 7 for the first big 3rd down play in this game. Henry Clay's line trying to set there, center directing traffic. Clark in motion. Van Horn rolling to left, sets, throws, and it is caught. 1st down up to the 25 and holding on to the football on the far side. I believe that was the big tight end. It was Noah Gann, 6'3", Coach. Big target there for the Blue Devils, and they pick up, and Gann picks up 8 and the 1st down to the 35, so that's your first down for Henry Clay of the 2017 football season.
Looked like Jalen Baird was in there on the tackle. So
he came from that secondary spot, didn't he, from that corner spot.
Yes, he did.
1st down at the 35 for the Blue Devils, and Van Horn in at quarterback, DJ Van Horn. I don't think Carroll's wearing 10 tonight. Here's Van Horn rolling to the right. Van Horn hit and upended behind the line of scrimmage on a nice play, Coach. Coming in there, Coach. Nice play turned in by Bell. Darrell Bell Jr., number 7.
Yeah, Darrell Bell Jr., let's see, another senior player on this Tates Creek team.
As you can see in that high-definition picture here at Roy Walton Stadium. 2nd down. Henry Clay did pick up the big 3rd down and 7 on the pass to Gann. And that time they lost about a half a yard on the quarterback tuck there by Van Horn. This time he gets to Clark in motion. Clark's got some room out there, but it's cut down in a hurry up at the 38-yard line. Boy, Tates Creek quick to the football.
Really quick to the football. Number 9 on that tackle.
Yeah, that's Baird.
Baird come up again.
So Clark got about 3 yards, but I tell you what, Baird closed that in a hurry on the far side by the Henry Clay bench over there, or that could have gone for a big yardage there for Clark.
Interesting formation that time. They had what we call an Henry split with the tight end out a little ways, and only 2 offensive linemen on the right side.
So Van Horn 1 for 1. He's got that big 3rd down completion. He's going to have to do that again here on 3rd and 7 at the 38-yard line for the Blue Devils. Clark in motion. Van Horn fakes it to Clark, tucks at 40, 45. He's got the 1st down to the 47-yard line.
Nice job. Tates Creek looked like they took a little chance and tried to tried to fill the A gaps, and good block on there by the offensive guard and the center for Henry Clay.
Coach, I thought he was up closer to the 47. They marked that inside the 46. Even though he's got the first down, that was not a kind mark.
No, but I tell you what, these officials, this is their first game too, so we'll give them a little bit of a break on that.
First down, that's a second conversion by the Blue Devils in this game on the third down situation, so they're 2 for 2 there.
Spencer Sidebottom, the center, did a really nice job on that play.
First down. They give it now to Jackson, and he's into Tates Creek territory to the 48, gang tackled there as they gave it to Langston Jackson. And that is going to be his first carry. He's going to pick up about 7 yards on that. So nice run there by Langston Jackson with a nice run, Coach.
I'll tell you what, you do not want to give him a crack because he will go. We have an official timeout, it looks like, here.
Nick Osborne, Darren Douglas helping us with the spotting up here, shaking up a little bit for Henry Clay's offensive line. You see the big tackle over there, Matt Brixey. You know who that's the younger brother of, don't you? Remember Brixey that played a few years ago?
Yeah, he ought to come up here and talk to us all the time.
Kentucky Wesleyan player.
Yeah.
So 2nd down and 3. Let's see what Van Horn does here. He's completed one pass since Clark in motion. And gives it to him. Clark's got room. He's to the 40, and Clark's going to get down inside the 40. Let's see where they run him out of bounds at the 37, where he's going to pick up nearly 10 yards, 9 yards, and the first down on a nice run there by Tyree Clark.
Nice drive going for Henry Clay. Really nice play selection. Coach Simpson and his staff doing a great job of coming up with plays. His first game of the year, you don't really have enough film to look at another team at all, so you're sort of guessing from what you know from the past.
Quick stats, Coach, for Clark. Second carry, 12 yards there for Clark already, and picked up the first down there. Henry Clay moving to football, Coach, on this opening series of the 17 season. Motion to the near side. Van Horn tucks it, dives forward down to the 35. They say his knee touch at 36. He's knocked and tripped down there by Baird, number 9. Actually, that was McMullen, excuse me.
They got a little
so
tight
McMullen.
Little tight wing out there with Isaiah Atkins, only 5'6", 150 pounds, trying to block on that defensive end out there.
What they're doing, Coach, are bringing McMullen in at the Wildcat. So McMullen has carried it a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
2nd down and 8. Wideouts both sides for the Blue Devils. Creek with a 4-man front. McMullen again. McMullen tackled, and nice tackle in the backfield there. That was White, Deontay White, the middle linebacker. White coming up to make the nice play. Coach, here's another 3rd down and about 7 for this Henry Clay football team. But McMullen, whether it's McMullen out of the Wildcat or Van Horn throwing the ball, they've been able to pick up these big 3rd downs so far.
A little exchanging these quarterbacks and doing a really good job.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of them already, haven't we? 3rd down.
We're off.
William. We lost our power.
There we go.
Okay, yeah.
Oops.
No.
Just talk. They're hearing you.
Okay. And 3rd down. Looks like.
Just talk. They hear you. It's just not coming.
Okay. Yep. 4th down on that big play there by the Tates Creek defense. And that brings up 4th down after they've been able to complete, Coach. A couple of those big 3rd downs. Good defense there by Tates Creek, Coach.
Really good defense, and that was a big play. But you know what? It looks like they're going for it here, unless they quick kick.
So 4th down. Van Horn back to pass. Van Horn pump fakes. In trouble. Rolls to the left. Gets a block over there.
Job.
Sets and throws, and it's nearly caught down, but as it hits the ground, incomplete, nearly caught down inside the 30. Nice effort there by Henry Clay. Nice effort by Van Horn. So here comes the Tates Creek offense, Coach, out on the field. And I tell you what, Henry Clay moved the ball pretty well there, but nothing to show for it.
Nothing to show for a big number 50 for Tates Creek came in here and did a really good job of forcing that play.
Yeah, that's check that young man out. He made a play early in the game. Remember, that's Hayden Gant. Remember, he made the first play of the ball game.
Right.
So we'll check
job.
Tates Creek's offense. We mentioned Cameron Workman, the senior quarterback. He's back with a bevy of receivers. LaRon Warner is his primary running back. This time he's going to have triple receivers out to the top. And let's see what Workman does here. He sends motion and hand to Warner. Warner hit, knocked down in the backfield. Good play by Henry Clay. And Jackson there, Langston Jackson making the play.
Nice penetration. They tried to run that jet sweep, and the penetration. You can't run jet sweep if you get penetration off tackle and on the corner, and that's exactly what happened from the edge. Good job.
We'll check the starters for Cameron Workman, the senior quarterback. He's got LaRon Warner, and he gives to Warner, and up the middle he's hit and dropped at the after about a yard or two pickup. Up front you got Logan Ryan, Sammy Soroya, Garrett Belcher, Clayton Cruz, Blake Francis, Jared Bauer, Darrell Bell, and LaRon Warner, the running back, Jaden Baird, a receiver. And also we got a freshman Coffee in there. Here's Workman back to pass. To the near side's got his man 40, and he's going to be tackled at the 42-yard line as the pass is complete there to Devonta Clay, the junior wide receiver, and Clay's dropped. Who made that play
Avery
there?
Benton came flying up there to make the tackle. That was what we call a slip screen or a jailbreak screen, some people call it. He catches the football on the run toward the line of scrimmage and tries to break it straight ahead.
If you're just tuning in with Coach Me and Gary Ball, we're in the first quarter, no score. Henry Clay's had one possession. Creek has had one possession. Now they'll be punting the ball. 3:35 to go here in the first quarter. And set to punt. Here's Henry Clay driving them back to the fumbled the ball, picks it up, and then hemmed in. Ball comes out of there late. Who's got it? I think Creek's got it. They do. 39 pounced on it, Coach, for Creek, number 39, and that's going to be Brown.
Zachary Brown.
Brown there to pounce on it.
Junior for Tates Creek. Nice job. Good job. Little bobble of the ball. Didn't quite put it away. And actually, let's give it credit where it's due. That was a really good punt, Gary.
It was a good punt. Drove the return man back, and he bobbled it at the beginning, and then he scooped it up, and then he fumbled. So the Commodores will have it at the 15 of Henry Clay, trying to score the first points of this season for high school football here in Fayette County on this early kickoff tonight. We got a game coming up, Bryan Station Lafayette tonight after this one. So 1st and 10 for Workman at the 15 of Henry Clay. Gives to Warner. Warner down low. Warner down to the 8. Nice run there by Warner.
Really nice run. And
Clark made the stop along with Jackson.
Clark and Jackson had to come up with the secondary. He had walked in the end zone. Really nice. I like this Warner guy.
2nd down and 4. So he picked up 6. Here's Workman to pass. Little slant knocked away. Good defense by. Nice job there. Breaking that up. That was a nice play.
Again.
Michael McMullen made a nice play. Got a hand on that. McMullen almost picked that one off.
Well, the ball was thrown slightly behind the receiver, and when you run that slant, you have to throw a perfect pass.
So 3rd down inside the 10 for Cameron Workman. Blitz being shown. Good snap. Looks left, throws it. He's got a receiver, Warner. LaRon Warner, and he's going to seep into the end zone to the corner. Nice job by LaRon Warner to get the pylon over there on a good screen pass. Boy, I tell you what, Workman sold that one, didn't he?
He sold it. He did a really good job, and the offensive line did a good job of stopping the penetration. It was an excellent throw, and he just basically beat him to the corner.
So Cameron Workman completes his first touchdown of the season, and it goes to LaRon Warner, who's an outstanding target now in the battle of the backfield. So Tates Creek's going to mix it up this year. They got a 6-0 lead here. Trying to add to that as the place kicker now comes in there. And, of course, that's number 92, Combs. And the kick is up, and Combs nails it. So after the fumble by Henry Clay is recovered by Creek at the 15, quarterback Workman fires to Warner on a 9-yard TD pass, and they lead it now 7-0. We'll return here on PrepSpin. Mingy Beef Jerky, the leader in Kentucky. We'll be back.
At White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics, we believe that greatness is in the details. Each decision we make is for the benefit of our patients and our community. This means using industry-leading technology to help you achieve your goals and uncover your perfect smile. Our precision and efficiency results in an experience that is both pleasurable and affordable. White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics, applying precision and elegance to your smile.
I wanted to get back on the basketball court.
I want to get back to the ref I used to be.
I want to get back to gardening.
I want to get back to playing with my band.
Only one team is qualified to get patients back to living their lives. Bluegrass Orthopedics has physician experts to assist in your recovery, whether it's an injury or chronic condition. Bluegrass Orthopedics provides convenient, specialized, and comprehensive care for your unique life.
At Lexington Diagnostics.
30, Clark gets a block. He's got one man to beat. Combs the kicker. Here's a flag as he gets to the 30, 20. Clark is going to take it to the house, but there's a flag down. Hold the phone back at the 50-yard line. On the return by Clark. There's a flag down, so hold the phone.
If this is Henry Clay, it is a really bad deal.
That was, an 80, almost a 90-yard return. Yeah, it's going to be against the Blue Devils.
Right.
So bring it back, as we said, on a nice return by Tyree Clark. And he took it all the way to the house, but they'll bring that one back.
Well, that's a shame, too. What a great job of blocking and running there. Super job.
Sure was, except the one block that got called.
Yeah, I think they called a hold.
Yep. So that'll bring it back. The flag came inside the 50, so we'll see where they're going to mark it, the penalty off to. Looks probably about the 35 or inside the 35.
So I saw the penalty, actually, and I know the number of the guy, but we'll just leave that go since it's the first game of the season.
Right, first game of the season. Officials still walking it back. And it's going to, as I said, it's going to be right at the 35. That was just a guess, but sometimes you guess right, don't you? 35-yard line, that's where they go. Yeah. Blue Devils move the ball effectively. He'll be a heck of a player, man.
Yeah,
this kid's a young kid.
And he came from the backside, actually.
No, he's a senior. I was thinking he was a junior. But still, he's played well, even regardless of his class, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's outrunning the offensive linemen that are pulling. So Coach Simpson might have to get those offensive linemen as they pull to turn back in on those linebackers, because it doesn't do any good to be behind the running back.
Hand off to Jackson, and Jackson trying to shove his way. He's going to be short of the first down. Be about a yard, maybe a yard and a half short on the handoff to Langston Jackson.
They just haven't quite figured out. They can't figure out a way.
Another stop for Gant.
They've got to figure out a way to put a hat on Gant. Right away, that's what you have to do. Secondly, they're doing a pretty good job outside, but when they're going inside, they're having no luck at all. So they may have to adjust their blocking a little bit.
Set to punt will be Graham Wald. Back is Bell. Bell Jr. back, and somebody had to come out. So
12 men on the field.
Yeah, somebody had to come out. They had to get another player off, so that's going to require a timeout so they can get the 5-yard penalty. Henry Clay will be punting from their own 43. Coach, 42 seconds left here, 7-0. Creek got the first big turnover on that fumble recovery on that punt at the 15, and they cashed in on that on a touchdown pass from Workman to Warner.
Yeah, they did a nice job of calling plays down there around the goal line, but again, Henry Clay might have been a little shocked right there to lose that ball and he get the ball down there late like that. So, but again, both of these teams are pretty well matched from what we've seen defensively. Both are playing it pretty well. The only problem was the fumble. Turnovers will really hurt you. So we've got to try to keep that from keep those turnovers down to a minimum.
And the King of Stream just wants me to remind all you folks watching that the internet is not as strong in Tates Creek's box as we'd like, so our HD, it's HD quality, Coach, but it's not quite as clear as folks are used to.
Then it's just D.
I guess you're right on that point.
Yeah. Well, we'll make sure to take care of that before we do the broadcast again. So.
Warner is to the near side. Bell is to the far at the 20.
I wouldn't want to kick to either of those dudes.
And after they got that timeout, Coach, to get the 12th man off the field, somebody gets a penalty here anyway.
You delay procedure penalty. Somebody moved.
The Blue Devils. Well, first game, you got 42 seconds, 7-0. Tates Creek on top.
Gary Ball, you just do not want to give Tates Creek offense good field position again. You just don't want to do it. And both of these guys back deep can take
explosive.
It to the house.
Yes,
they are extremely explosive.
So Wald set to punt back inside the 25 after the penalty. High snap. Wald just gets it off, booms it to the near side. Warner comes up, and Warner bobbles it, picks it up, scoops 22, cutting to the far side, coming back to the near side, hits his own player. His player ran right into him, player knocked down, and Warner's going to be knocked down back at the 18-yard line. I tell you, he ran right into his own player.
He did, and he could have gotten his corner and made good yardage on that. A nice punt again. Really good job. You know, last year we had trouble seeing good punters. This year already we've seen these punters punt the ball well.
Both quarterbacks tonight, Van Horn 2 for 3, and Workman 2 for 3, has a touchdown pass of 8 yards to Warner. So Creek back on the offensive side, Coach, and they lead at 7-0. And what are your thoughts here early on, Coach, of this season as we're almost through the first quarter of this Tates Creek Henry Clay game with Bryan Station Lafayette coming up later tonight?
A couple mistakes by Henry Clay's put him in the holes, hurt him. Tates Creek is doing a good job of moving the football. They're getting down that third down, though, and they have to learn to figure out a way to crack that defense and get good yardage on third down.
So LaRon Warner lined up in the backfield with Cameron Workman out of the shotgun. Twin receivers both sides. They start at the 18 after the return as they ran into their own player on that kick on that punt return. 18-yard line. Deepest position Tates Creek's had so far. Pump fake, fires over the left side, caught out there to the 20, 22-yard line. Good open field tackle out there by Henry Clay. Yeah. We'll get both parties for you. The receiver there that's number 18. That's Mason Gentry, a sophomore, and who made that nice play out there? I believe that was McMullen, wasn't it?
Yeah, McMullen come up. They're running the screen to death out here. Nice job. Look at that crap.
Great pass, caught, and all the way up to the 38-yard line. And that's Warner. Boy, he's going to be a big weapon out of that backfield. There's no doubt about it. He already has a touchdown catch in this game and a big catch. That's going to do it for the first quarter. And Warner has set the Commodores up first down at the 38 on that carry there, And Jackson made the play. We'll head to the second quarter. Tates Creek leading Henry Clay 7-0 here on the Mingy Beef Jerky Game of the Week.
At Lexington Diagnostic Center, we love athletes.
We understand that when you are injured, the results of an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray can be the only thing keeping you off the field.
And that's what we're here for.
Same or next day appointments, front door parking, and our on-site radiologists make it easy for you to quickly get the results you and your doctor need. Call and compare prices.
We can save you hundreds of dollars.
We would love to help get you back in the game.
At the Lexington Diagnostic Center.
Take a little walk with me. I'll keep you in good company and be there for you till the end. You'll never be alone, my friend.
Thanks to White Greer Maggard, our title sponsor again here on PrepSpin this year. I tell you, Gant, to me, other than Warner out of the backfield, has been the big story for Tates Creek, the outstanding defensive lineman.
They can't block him yet.
Here's Warner, and to the 43, that might be a backup back. That's 37, Coach. It's a backup running back, Marcus Bosley. Yeah. So Bosley first carry tonight, picked up 5.
Willie McGee made the tackle, number 27.
Workman gives to Bosley again. Bosley running hard to the 42, where he's about a yard shy of the first down for Henry Clay.
Yeah, I got that wrong. It was Bramble. Nathan Bramble. I actually looked at the wrong chart. We're kind of crowded up here, and it's hard to pick the right chart out. But.
So Bosley with another nice carry, 3rd and a yard for the Commodores at their own 47. Henry Clay showing blitz. Workman gives inside to Bosley again. He's got the first down as he lunges down inside of the 46. Coming up to make the play from a strong safety spot was Ramon Jackson. But Bosley, good running now. Here comes back in Warner. That's pretty good. You bring in big number 37. He's a solid runner. Gets some good yardage for you there. And then, of course, you bring Warner back in to give him a breather.
I like the way Bosley runs, too.
Pass to the near side, and it's caught. Boy, it came out of there late. He dropped it as he went down to the ground. And that was that, Coach, that was that freshman we were talking about, Coffey. Coffey had that one for a moment. Jayhawk was telling me about him today, said he's going to be a good one, Gary.
Yeah, and Chance Giss got beat. He kind of hesitated, and when he hesitated, the Coffee Kid ran by him on the outside. Caught the ball nice, but then dropped it when he hit the ground.
But I'll tell you what, if he hits that in stride, that's 6.
Right.
Second down, ball goes over Workman's head. He goes back, jumps on it to 39. My goodness, that's going to be about a 15, 16-yard loss there. And, Coach, that's what you get early in the season. Second quarter of a game, you're up 7-0. If you're Creek, you get a snap about 10 feet over the quarterback's head.
Yeah, it kind of zipped off his hands. I'm sure they're sweaty, a little sweaty out there, and that hurt. I mean, that really hurt because that gives them third and what?
And remember, they
30?
dropped the pass down inside
20?
the 20.
Yeah.
Now they're back at their own 43rd, and let's call it 25. Warner sets up to the left. Workman back to pass. Workman pump fakes. Fires down the middle of the field. It's caught! Down, and it's going to be a first down on a 27-yard pickup.
Nice job.
And that's hauled in, Coach. That's hauled in by number 18, Gentry, Mason Gentry.
Yeah, that was really a good throw and a good catch. A little post route, and he hit him in stride over the linebacker's heads right in front of the safety.
Well, that was a great pass by Cameron Workman, the senior quarterback, 2,200 yards last year passing and 26 touchdowns. Gives to Warner, trying to bounce it outside. He's hemmed in, Warner, and he's going to be stuck at the 30 on a pickup of about 3.
This Langston Jackson kid,
oh, he's a stud.
Playing his secondary position. I'll tell you what, I like this guy.
Making a lot of plays.
Yeah, he's a.
You know what number? You know who wore number 9 in the past, don't you? Devontae Robinson, who's at Kentucky now.
Yeah, well, he had a lot of plays too.
They say Robinson's going to get some significant playing time this year, Coach,
That's
at UK.
awesome.
Here's Workman back to pass, looking for Bell. Set, pump fake's going to tuck it down inside the 25, run out of bounds. Let's see where the official marks him. He's got the first down to the 23-yard line. Good job there by Work. You know, the pump fake's what sold it.
Good, and he was a smart quarterback. You know, he run out of bounds here, get your yardage, get out of bounds, learn to live another day that way. They're doing a really good job now.
As the folks can see on the PrepSpin camera there, the pump fake brought the defensive backs up a little bit closer to the receivers, and that allowed Cameron Workman to scamper for the first down.
Well, and he didn't try to force the ball in anyway. He just saw an opening and he took it.
So we're going to – tonight's trivia is sponsored by Ricardo's Grill in beautiful historic downtown Versailles. We're going to do this every ball game, 110 Frankfurt Street. They got live music every Tuesday, Thursday night. And what is our trivia tonight, Mr. Douglas? He's going to give it to us here in a second.
Yeah,
Tonight's
look at
trivia.
It's a $20 gift certificate.
Gift card, yeah. Get a $20 gift card.
Are we allowed to do that? Are we allowed to answer these?
Yeah, Linda's eligible.
We're not. Yeah, well, we could.
I tell you what, Coach, Tates Creek. They brought Bosley in there. He did some chain moving for the Commodores offense, and that gave Warner a break, and now Warner looks revived in there now after getting that break on that series.
Yep, I'll tell you what. They've kind of figured out a way to alternate those passes and runs where they can get the yardage they need. I like the way these running backs are carrying the football.
Yeah, Workman right now 4 for 6, Coach, 43 yards in the touchdown pass, and LaRon Warner's 5 carries, 26 yards for the Commodores. Tyree Clark leads Henry Clay's attack, 2 carries, 12 yards. Their quarterback Van Horn's 2 for 3 for 20 yards. That came early in the game for him, picking up a couple big third down situations. 1st and 10. Give now to the second man through, and he's hit and knocked backwards, and that's going to be number 20 there. That's going to be Jalen Barnett, number 20, the junior.
That looks like they're running a stretch play here from this single back offense, and the running back has that choice to cut that ball back, and that's what he's doing. He's cutting to the backside and getting good yardage.
Cameron Workman, Barnett fires near side, caught down near the 10. It's complete and caught by Jared Bauer down to the 10-yard line. That's going to be an 11-yard pickup. So Workman looks pretty comfortable back there after starting last year and completing for 2,200 yards.
Right. They took the outside receiver and ran him on a post and took the inside receiver on an out, and the out was open. So was the post actually late. So they may have something they come back to later. They're really spreading the field out, though, Gary.
Creek up 7-0, threatening here. They give now to Bosley. Bosley dragging people down inside the 6 to the 5. He's finally pulled down by one of the big linemen there. That's Dakota Kimes, 6'3", 295. Also Davis, But I tell you what, I saw big 68 there. Kimes helping out at 295 for the Blue Devils defense.
Well, when he bounces out there, Langston Jackson and these corners are coming up pretty hard. So that little pump fake you talked about earlier could be really valuable.
Baird in motion. Give to Warner up the middle. Warner down about the 3. Tackled right there. Coming up to get him again was Kimes. 68 making the play again.
Oh, man, this is what we love. Coach Sims is saying, hey, wait a minute. This is the first game of the season. This is one of our rival football teams. Let's pound it at them. Let's see what kind of offensive line we have.
Well, the last time they were in this situation, they threw a little flare pass out to Warner, and he took it to the left pylon for a touchdown. Let's see if they do run the same play here. They got him in the backfield with Workman, 3rd down at about 2. They fake to him. Now throw back toward the middle, and it's dropped in the back of the end zone. That would have been a touchdown, but it is dropped in the back of the end zone by Bell and Darrell Bell Jr. He's got to offer some Morehead State and teams like that, Coach. He's got to hold on to that one.
He's got to hold on to the football. That was ball thrown pretty well right there at the goalpost. But, again, now that puts him in 4th down situation. 4th and short, 3rd and short. I'm not too sure if they shouldn't have just run the ball there.
7:54 to go, first half, 7-0. Give to Warner down the middle, and does he get in?
Yes.
And the official's right there. Touchdown! The official to the right signaled touchdown. And so for LaRon Warner, who was their nearly 1,000-yard rusher last year, he's got a great start to this season with a couple of touchdowns in this game. 7 carries, Coach, for 35 yards.
Nice job again. They just pounded that middle. They took a chance for that little throw over the middle, but it came back to the running game. I think Coach Sims wanted to pound that ball in and see if he could get those big linemen on those blocks.
Luke Doobie will hold, and Dozier Combs will come in for the extra point to try to put the Commodores up by a couple of scores here. And the Combs kick is up, and it is good through the right side. So 14-0. Commodores on top on 2 LaRon Warner touchdowns, 1 through the air, 1 on the ground. They lead at 14-0. We'll return here on the White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week.
Hi, this is Gary Ball for Crown Trophy of Lexington. Crown Trophy offers youth sports awards, corporate awards. They offer signs and a full line of promotional products. They're located at 2680 Wilhite Drive on the corner of Nicholasville, New Circle Road, just behind Starbucks. Stop by and pick up your copy of our 85-page catalog. Crown Trophy is nationally known, but locally owned with 150 stores nationwide. Crown Trophy, the official provider of plaques for the Scholastic Ball Report and PrepSpin.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Welcome back as Tates Creek has just jumped out 14-0, and Combs set to kick. Good kick, and that'll be out of the back of the end zone again. Man, oh man, this kid's got a leg, this Combs kid.
What a weapon.
He's got a weapon. He's a weapon, 14-0. Hey, Bluegrass Preps. That's Rob Bacigalupo and a great staff at Bluegrass Preps. They've teamed up with us. The Bluegrass Preps poll has Lafayette, who's coming up later tonight, number 6, or I believe it's number 6 in their Bluegrass Preps 6A poll. They'll be coming up later tonight against Bryan Station at 8:30 here on PrepSpin.
That could be a good game. Those two teams basically don't care for each other, and it could be a very good football game.
Coach, we'll give our trivia question. I think we might have time now.
First thing we need to do is tell them where they can send their answer. That's really important. Get your pencils ready, people. I'll do that. Get your pencils ready.
Email your answers to Darren Douglas or DDarren, DARRIN 1983 at gmail.com.
We'll give it to you again in a minute.
So here's Henry Clay trying to get their offense going. They moved the ball the first time they had it. Motion by Jackson, and flag will stop the play before Van Horn can give the ball off to him.
Another motion penalty. Yeah, wide out move.
Langston Jackson was in motion to take the sweep.
Okay, when you're going to, if you want to win this $20 gift certificate, D Darren, D, and then Darren, DARRIN 1983 at gmail.com.
Okay, with this year's announcement of the KHSAA Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl going to be played in Lexington Kroger Field, or Commonwealth Stadium, when was the last time that the state championships were played in Lexington, Kentucky for the KHSAA football championships? That's your trivia. You give Darren that email. Here's Blitz being shown, rolling to right, Van Horn, and he's going to be run out of bounds. That might be a flag. A little activity over there as he was out of bounds, but no flag.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good no call. He did fling him a little bit, but he could have been on the line when he did it. So
if you know the answer to that, the last year that with this year's announcement that the state football would be at Kroger Field, when was the last time the state championships in football were played in Lexington? That's the trivia.
Well, that would be Stoll Field.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Send that to DDarren, DARRI, in 1983 at gmail.com. He's got his smartphone with him, so he can check those right now.
Right now, yeah.
And if you win, you get a $20 gift card to Ricardo's Grill in downtown Versailles. I tell you what, he lost a ton on that. He lost 10 yards on that, Coach.
Yeah, but he didn't try to force the ball. He got out of bounds. He was in big trouble. So
motion. Van Horn fakes. He's got some running room. He's up to the wrestle out at about the 12. Pick up about 4 yards over there.
That was
tough.
tough.
Bring up third and about 16 or 17 for Henry. Coach, what is Henry Clay doing or not doing offensively? Or is Tates Creek's defense just so quick to the football right now?
They're quick to the football, and you need to probably try to run at them a little bit more rather than try to run the sides like that in the corners. Again, you don't want to throw the ball back up like this, but Tates Creek's going to be tight in there for the run.
They got to get Langston Jackson in some seams over there and give him some running room, or Ramon Jackson. They've got terrific speed. Ramon is out to the open side of the field now on this 3rd and long for Henry Clay. Van Horn getting pressure, rolling left. Van Horn being chased, breaks a tackle. Now is going to toss it to a big lineman, but he's not eligible. That big lineman is not eligible, so that's going to draw a flag. Big number 52 said, that's side bottom. He said, why you throw me the ball?
Side bottom didn't even think
He didn't even want to catch it. If he thought.
But what hands? Soft hands.
Yeah, soft hands, but he's like, he's kind of surprised that Van Horn threw him the football.
Yeah, well, I was surprised too.
Nice crowd over there for Henry Clay tonight. They got the visitor section pretty full over there. Creek's got a pretty good crowd in front of us here, and nice crowd for high school football. Gary Ball with Mike Meehan. We got 7 minutes, and I'm not sure that's correct, but I guess it is. 7:20, and Tates Creek on top if you're just joining, 14-0.
Yeah, Tates Creek jumped off quick ahead on a fumble recovery where they just had 10 yards to go in for a touchdown.
Yep.
And then took a great drive all the way down the field.
So Wald will punt for Henry Clay. He'll be back deep in his own end zone.
Got those blue shoes. It should be interesting.
You got Warner and Bell back deep to return the punt. They already lead 14-0. They're going to return this at their own 45. Here's the punt by Wald, and it's going to be, they're going to get away from the ball, and Henry Clay will touch it at about the 35-yard line. They're saying the ball was touched by a Creek, but no, it was not touched by a Creek player. Henry Clay thought a Creek player might have touched the ball, but I don't think anybody touched it, did they, Coach?
I didn't see it. I mean, the ball didn't change direction or anything, so. Boy, I tell you what, Henry Clay needs to buckle up right here. They need to buckle up and stop this Tates Creek juggernaut that's just been killing them driving the football.
Commodores felt like they were going to have a good campaign this year with their defense, and I really like this number 50, this great defensive lineman, Hayden Gant, a senior. He's not real tall. He's about 5'11", 5'10", but, man, he's solid, about 210, and he has made, 4 or 5 plays tonight already defensively.
Yeah, straight ahead plays coming from the backside, making tackles, and that 3-4 defense, and pretty impressive.
Coach, look at time of possession. 9 minutes, 56 seconds of possession for the Blue Devils, just 6:50, but yet the team with the ball 6 minutes and 50 seconds. They lead 14-0. Now they got the ball at the Henry Clay 36-yard line.
Yeah, those will balance out. I think a lot of that had to do with that fumble recovery.
36-yard line is where they'll mark it at the 37.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gary, William Moorfield does a super job. We were just talking about the King of Stream coming up here early.
Yep.
Set up one place, then we had to change to another place in this press box. But really, really good job.
Not sure what that's about, why we had to change and everything, but because they told us to set up in one spot. But that's okay. We make do. We make do.
William can handle that.
We're in the corner here, but, you and I are just cozy. We both wore our deodorant.
That's right.
First down for the Commodores, and their fine quarterback Workman and their fine running back Warner. Warner's got a 35. Here goes Warner, 30. He's at the 25, but he's going to be rustled out there by the speedster Jackson. He's going to wrestle him out of bounds. Let's see where they mark him at. Official's going to mark it up about the 20. There is a flag down, so hold the phone. There's a penalty marker down.
I thought I saw a hold on the edge here. Let's see if it was.
That is going to be a hold against Creek, so they're going to bring that one back. But I tell you what, I like this Warner kid, Coach. He's going to be a good one for Antoine Sims and Jay Hawk and company this year for the Commodores.
Yeah, when a running back bounces outside like that, a lot of times the guy on the edge, he's got his block straight on, and all of a sudden the defensive player is working to his outside. He said, "Where's my running back at?" So he just grabs a hold, and that's exactly what happened there.
You grab the first thing in front of you, don't you?
You do.
And it's usually the opponent's jersey, and the official's going to catch that 99 out of 100% of the time.
So that brings it back to
the 30-yard line, near the 30, about the 29. 7:06. The first quarter was blazing fast. The second quarter is kind of slowed down a little bit here. Here's Warner up the middle. Warner 20. He's 15-10. He's gone to the house. Touchdown. LaRon Warner, third touchdown tonight for number 6.
Really nice job. They're just running a quick opener, and he just found the seam and actually was just gone right away. Langston Jackson had an opportunity to tackle him, but missed the tackle. He kind of slid off of Langston. And for the fact that Langston had to make a tackle on a play up the middle makes me worry a little bit.
Creek up 20-0, and here comes the extra point attempt here by Combs. They didn't even play spring ball. They just got in the weight room, and boy, Warner looks a lot stronger this year, doesn't he?
Yeah, that might make a difference. Sometimes spring ball wears you out a little bit. So
here's Combs for the extra point that would put the Commodores up by 3 scores. They lead 20-0. LaRon Warner, he has 2 rushing, 1 receiving touchdowns, and the extra point is up good. White Greer Maggard Game of the Week. We'll return on the White Greer Maggard Game of the Week. Mingy beef jerky. Also Bluegrass Preps. Thanks to those folks up there, Rob Bacigalupo. We'll be back 21-0. Creek on top of Henry Clay.
My tax refund usually helps me out, but this year it was much lower than what it was supposed to be. This isn't enough to get me caught up. What am I supposed to do?
Is this happening to you? We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode.
Bankruptcy could be your best solution.
We're here to give you a fresh financial start.
Say no to debt. Get your bankruptcy started for as little as $78 today. The consultation is free in Lexington and now in London.
I used my credit cards over the holidays, and I thought I could make it work. But between the bills and everything else, I'm really starting to fall behind.
A lot of people out there are drowning in debt.
We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode.
We're back where Tates Creek has just jumped all over Henry Clay, 21-0. LaRon Warner's been putting on a show, Coach.
He really has, and Tates Creek's whole offense is doing a great job of blocking.
Tyree Clark, and he skips his way up to about the 27-yard line. Nice return there by Tyree Clark, number 4.
It's amazing. I think they probably told the kicker just not to kick it out of the end zone that time.
So Greg Couch, quarterback quite a bit last year, he has left the team, we understand, Coach.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that.
And so Van Horn, we were told Bo Carroll, number 12, was going to start tonight, but number 10, DJ Van Horn, the sophomore quarterback, has been in there for the duration so far in the first half, although we did see McMullen in there a couple times, the quarterback out of the Wildcat, number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson faked in Van Horn. He's got some running room, and he dives up. Nice job there by up to the 35, by DJ Van Horn.
Yeah, tackle was made by the safety, came up there and made the tackle.
Herring on the stop, so pickup of 9, second down. Look at some early numbers here. Warner leads the charge for Creek. 9 carries, 79 yards, 2 rushing TDs, 1 catching touchdown. And the quarterback's 2 for 3 for Van Horn, 5 for 8 for Workman, Coach, and a touchdown.
Playing a really good game here early.
Handoff up the middle to Jackson, and he's got the first down up to the 40. Is Raymond Jackson, the junior running back. Picks up about 5, be first down up to the 40. Coach, how important is it? Obviously, it's important. That was Langston Jackson. I think I said Ramon. But, Coach, Baird on the stop. How important is it for Henry Clay to put together a drive here, put some points up on the board before halftime with 6 minutes left? They're down 21-0 to Tates Creek.
Plenty of time with 6 minutes. They don't need to go ahead and go do something crazy. just get something going here. They seem to be found a crack up the middle now.
Jackson in motion. They give to him, and he is breaking tackles, coming back toward the middle, and going to be dropped for a loss back at the 35. Bell came up with other help.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Guess who forced him to come back? Gant.
And Cam Stewart helped out as well, the inside linebacker, number 2.
On the tackle, but Gant penetrated.
Yes.
Forced him to, and grabbed a hold of him, forced him to come back.
And I'm watching Gant. He's a little shaken up right now, Coach. He's down. He was down. Yeah, he's shaking up a little bit. I think it's his right arm. He's holding it real inside like it's bothering him right now. See him?
Yeah,
shaking up a little bit.
He grabbed a hold of the runner, and that runner burst away from him, and he probably strained that shoulder maybe.
Van Horn, quick pass out to Clark, and maybe to 36 maybe. So maybe a yard, so it'll be 3rd and long.
See, that's a good idea to do that, but I believe you're better off going to the wide side of the field when you run that play. On the short side of the field, the inside people can make the tackle. But I'm not doubting in any way what Henry Clay does, because Henry Clay knows their personnel. Sam's a really good coach. So let's just see how it goes. This is a big down right here, though. You do not want to give the ball back to Tates Creek.
Marty Joyce handles that offensive line. He's been a stalwart there for many, many years.
Good man.
Van Horn pump fakes. Van Horn pass, and it's going to be, it's caught down to the, it's caught down to the 42. What a great circus catch. Flag down. Well, what a great catch by Jackson, but there's a flag down back in the backfield of Henry Clay.
That was one of those sea of hands plays. Looked like there were 4 defenders on the ball, and the ball was caught by the receiver. Personal foul?
Personal foul. They hit the quarterback late as he released it. That's going to cost them more. Well, this will really set up the Blue Devils. The catch was made, as you said, a lot of hands in on that one, about 6 or 8 of them. And then all of a sudden he caught the ball. Now we're going to have the 15-yard penalty, and that's going to take it way down to about the 27-yard line. So, goodness gracious.
That's a few more gray hairs on Coach's head when you see that, roughing the passer. But, well, okay. Now they've got an opportunity with
by the way, Jackson, that was a 22-yard catch there for Jackson. And, Coach, that's a 37-yard play when you tack on the 15-yard penalty.
Yeah. We got to get him the ball more. Henry Clay's got to figure out a way to get him the football.
Now McMullen out of that Wildcat. McMullen takes it. Back inside, he's hit down to the 24, picks up about 4. So they bring the second quarterback they've used tonight. They used McMullen earlier too. So McMullen,
nice size kid, 6 foot 170, senior. Carries the ball, seems to be carrying the ball well. Pretty good judgment on his reads and so on.
Been all Commodores tonight as school started Wednesday here in Fayette County. Here on this Friday night. They lead it 21-0 over Henry Clay. Henry Clay is on the march, though, threatening here. 2nd down at the 25 of the Commodores. McMullen's going to tuck it. McMullen, nice running hard down inside. Let's see what they mark him at, about the 18. He might have the 1st down. He's very close to the 7. He's close to that marker, isn't he, Coach?
Yeah, he is. He could have it.
Ran right into that pylon over there. Let's see where they marked it at.
About
a half a yard short, it looks like.
I don't know about that.
So 3:14 to go, first half. Tates Creek, the store tonight, LaRon Warner has 3 touchdowns already in this game for Antoine Sims. He has 2 via the ground and 1 in the air.
Yeah, nice burst when he runs the football. Henry Clay's got a little thing going here. They're motioning away, and then the quarterback's keeping it backside when they roll. When the defense rolls, he goes against that roll.
McMullen, inside handoff. And he's got, looks like, close to the 1st down marker, and that's going to be the backup running back, Clay, who's second time Tracy Clay's carried it tonight, Coach, the sophomore running back.
They're not going to – no gain?
No gain. Like his forward progress would have got him at least a half a yard, which is what they needed. The Whitecap is going to blow the whistle. I think they are going to measure for this with 2:57 to go, first half. Well, at halftime, Coach Meehan and Darren Douglas will take you through the halftime. Coach has his unheralded football overachievers, Coach, at halftime.
Got a few good ones this time, and these coaches that like to cooperate to get me the information, and we'll talk about that and introduce what we do.
Right.
We try to do it all year long.
That's coming up at halftime. Any no answers for the trivia. Again, we gave it out earlier. You email Darren at ddarren1983@gmail.com.
Last game, let's face it, it's the last game that was state championship game that was played at Stoll Field. It had to be Stoll Field. It wasn't Stoll Field. I'm giving them hints. All right, but it was in Lexington.
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
So we know what that means.
Yeah, we know it only could be out one other place.
4th and inches for McMullen. Now the Wildcat. Clark fakes, rolls to the right.
See, there it is.
And he's got the first down and more. McMullen, he's down inside the 15. First down for McMullen, Michael McMullen, and Henry Clay. They get the first down.
This is what I'm telling you. These plays are being called from the booth up here probably. And what they're seeing is when they put a man in motion to the wide side of the field, Henry Clay rolls their defense. And then the quarterback's keeping away from that roll and keeping the ball and making good yardage. That's a nice job. Good job.
At inside the 15 for the Blue Devils. First down. Van Horn gives it now to Jackson, and Jackson down to the 10, and he is stopped there by Warner.
Good job again on the jet sweep, trying to get outside quickly, turn it upfield. Like I said, try to get the ball to Jackson as often as you can.
So 2nd down and 6 on the pickup of 4 by Langston Jackson, one of the fastest men in the state of Kentucky. Injured last year. 2nd down, 1:45, 21-0. Tates Creek on top. If you're just tuning in on PrepSpin, Gary Ball, Mike Meehan, William Moorfield, Darren Douglas. Motion by Jackson. McMullen back inside. McMullen down to about the 7. We're to bring up 3rd down and a couple of yards for the Blue Devils. Clock running 1:28.
It's a hard running dude. He really is running hard, keeping his shoulders down, his shoulders over his pads, and running hard up in there. Well, they're in at least in 4-down zone here, so they're going to be okay. They've got 3rd down and about 3.
McMullen coached 9 carries, 25 yards tonight for Henry Clay. So out of that Wildcat, he's carried it 9 times.
He's doing a nice job.
3rd down, and let's call it 3. Motion by Jackson. McMullen cuts it back inside, hit, and dropped well short of the first down. Gang tackled there by Creek. And McMullen, here's a late flag as he mixed it up with one of the D linemen.
That'll be on McMullen, too. You know, Deontay White wrestled him for a while after the whistle, but McMullen broke that by throwing a punch, and you just can't do that. You can't.
McMullen thought that the whistle had blown and that the D lineman, Noah James, number 52, was holding on to him a little bit long, so he kind of pushed him off, and officials going to see that every time.
Yeah, you know, again, the whistle means nothing in high school football. You think it does, but when progress is stopped, you're supposed to stop like that. And when he kept wrestling with him, McMullen got a little angry, and he kind of threw a high, let's call it a high push, all right? He pushed him off, but he pushed him off up toward his head. And I don't think
that'll take
officials
it back
don't like that.
To the 25-yard line. So they don't lose the down, do they? Get the down back, don't they? 3rd down?
No, it should be 4th.
Yeah, I think they're
out. Yeah, because it's a dead ball. That was a dead ball.
Yeah, dead
foul.
ball, so it is 4th down, excuse me. So 4th down for the Blue Devils. Boy, they were moving the ball so well, too, Coach. Got it down inside the 10-yard line. Looked like they were threatening. Creek has dominated this first half, 21-0. Henry Clay gets some momentum, and then you get a penalty like that.
Yeah, and if that's going to make it tough. Now, if I had a field goal kicker, I believe I'd try to go ahead and kick a field goal from here. You know, you got to get some points. You have to try to go in with some points.
We'll step out here on PrepSpin, the White Greer Maggard High School football game of the week.
I used my credit cards over the holidays, and I thought I could make it work. But between the bills and everything else, I'm really starting to fall behind.
A lot of people out there are drowning in debt.
We're Atkinson, Simon, Kermode. You can have a brighter future away from debt.
We've come up with a way to get you started for less.
Say no to debt. Get your bankruptcy started for as little as $78 today. In Lexington and now in London.
At White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics, we believe that greatness is in the details.
You can follow us on @PrepSpin to follow us on Twitter, or follow me at SCH_ball report on Twitter, or DM us at PrepSpin.com for that trivia. Or maybe folks just don't know the answer. With this year's announcement, the KHSA Commonwealth Gridiron Bowls moved back to Lexington's Kroger Field. When was the last time that the state championship was played in Lexington? Just go to @PrepSpin.com, @PrepSpin on Twitter, and DM us and give us that answer, and you can win a $20 gift card from Ricardo's in Versailles, Kentucky.
And a little hint, it's not Stoll Field.
Nope.
All right.
That's a big hint.
And if you know your history of high school football, Louisville carried that game for a long time.
Coming up later tonight, Coach, we got another good one. Bryan Station and Lafayette. That should be a dandy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. There's some speed in that game, boy.
A lot of speed. And here's Carroll in there. He throws it up, and it's picked off by Bell. Just threw it up. That'll serve as good as a punt would on that 4th down. But, hey, might as well throw up a big interception. I'm not sure why Bell. I know Bell wants to pick up an INT, but, you just lost about 25 yards.
Yeah, knock the ball down. That's a mistake high school players make that he won't make again, because the coaches are going to remind him, you're back there by the goal line. Well, that's a tough one, too. Some coaches will say go and intercept it because there's so little time to go in a half.
And, with the receivers that Creek has and the quarterback they have in Workman, they got 41 seconds here and a couple of timeouts. Don't count out that they could get something back in close territory for a field goal or a touchdown here with this quarterback.
Hey, Gary, it looks like they've got a good kicker, too, from what we've seen.
Yep. It's Bosley, big Bosley in there. Boy, he's carried it a number of times tonight. That's his 5th carry. The stop was hardened inside linebacker. There's one of those timeouts that we were talking about the Creek has. They just called a quick one there with 2nd down, 33 seconds. And, of course, here on PrepSpin, we got another big game tonight. That will be Lafayette and Bryan Station. 8:30, 8:45 approximately, about 30 minutes after the completion of this one, which kicked off at 6. And then next Friday night, what a doubleheader from the Bluegrass Bowl, Coach. On the Scholastic Ball Report Network, you and I will have the UK Sports Medicine Ryle game as they will take on this Henry Clay team. And then earlier that evening we will have the Lexington Catholic, or later that evening we'll have the Lexington Catholic game as they will take on Covington Catholic, one of the best quarterbacks in the state, a D1 quarterback by the name, you and I saw him last year, A.J. Mayer.
A.J. Mayer's a tough one, I tell you what. They do a good job spreading the field and throwing the football. Real quickly, Scholastic Ball Report, where do you start?
We start Labor Day weekend. We'll start the week of Labor. So Labor Day weekend, set your DVRs. It'll be Saturday at 12:30. The Scholastic Ball Report. Everybody already asked me, who's going to be your team? Who's going to be your feature? Who's going to be your scholar athletes? Coach, watch the show and find out.
Yeah, watch the show and find out.
That'll be Labor Day weekend, September 2nd, the Scholastic Ball Report. How about this 15th season, Coach? 15th
years. Started with Commissioner
Lewis Stout. Workman in trouble. He gets out of the end zone. He tucks it. He's up to the 15. He's looking for a block. He's at the 20. And Workman, boy, that's just senior leadership right there, Coach.
Yep.
He should have been tackled back in the end zone.
Smart play. He had to get out of the end zone. That would have been trouble. He had to get out of the end zone. And then did a really good job when he got to the side here to run out of bounds.
He picked up 15, and he could have been sacked for a safety.
22 seconds to go in the half.
They got a timeout left. 1st down for the Commodores and Workman. Triple receivers to the bottom, and that's a closed side. Sends Warner now to set up in the backfield with him. Gives it back inside to Warner. Warner's got a seam to 30. Warner runs out of bounds at the 30. I tell you what, this Warner kid, Coach, he's not real big, but who does he remind you of?
Yeah, he's not real big at all. In fact, he's what? Senior running back? I don't know.
They list him at 5. They list him at 5'9", 170. You think that's a little generous?
That's real generous, I think, as far as his weight goes.
Yeah.
Maybe his size too.
To tell you what, he's a good running back though.
Yeah.
17 seconds, 21-0. If you're just tuning in, Commodores leading the Blue Devils. Gary Ball, Mike Meehan, William Warfield on PrepSpin. Here's a quick pass out to the left side, and they've got their man, and he's run out of bounds at the 37 as that's complete to Jaden Baird, number 9.
And he doesn't do a bad job either. Again, I like this Tates Creek football team. They're really well balanced.
They really are. Fine club this year. We'll give you all the numbers right now. Warner leads with 10 carries, 84 yards, has 2 rushing TDs, also has a touchdown catch of 8 yards. Workman now, and Workman like fashion, no pun intended, Coach. He's 6 for 9.
Yep.
6 for 9 for 57 yards and the 1 touchdown is Workman. Workman listed at 6'1", 180.
Henry Clay still in the 3-4 look. They backed their safety and their corners off real
Gentry
far.
in motion. Workman hit, breaks that tackle, rolls to the left, and slammed out of bounds hard over there into the Henry Clay bench with just 4 seconds to go here before intermission.
Yeah, it looks like one of the Tates Creek players who is moving back in slowly. I don't think it was Workman.
Yeah, Workman took a big hit there on the sideline. He is. But it looks like he's okay, Coach. Adjusting his chin strap, what he's doing.
Straighten his helmet, turn it around, make sure it faces forward.
Coaching Ben Mee and your son, did he ever have to do that many times?
Oh, he had to do it quite a few times.
What a quarterback he was. One of the best to ever come out of this city.
He was a good one.
Second down here, blitz by Clay. This might be the last play of this first half. Comes throw over the middle, caught, and that's Warner, but he does break the tackle. Warner eludes it, then he's tackled, fumbles the ball. Big lineman jumps on it for Creek. That's going to do it for the first half. That's how the first half will conclude. The big lineman there was Soroya, Sammy Soroya.
He was in the right place at the right time, wasn't he? Man.
Soraya, they pronounce it. Soraya, excuse me. And we go to halftime. It's been all Commodores. They lead 21-0 behind LaRon Warner's 3 touchdowns here in the first half. And we'll come back with halftime, and Coach Mike Meehan will give you his UFOs, and they'll also give you the first half numbers here on PrepSpin. 21-0 here on the White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week. Tates Creek Commodores leading here at halftime over Henry Clay Blue Devils. We'll be back with halftime on the White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week.
At White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics, we believe that greatness is in the details. Each decision we make is for the benefit of our patients and our community. This means using industry-leading technology to help you achieve your goals and uncover your perfect smile. Our precision and efficiency results in an experience that is both pleasurable and affordable. White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics, applying precision and elegance to your smile.
I wanted to get back on the basketball court.
I want to get back to the ref I used to be.
I want to get back to gardening.
I want to get back to playing with my band.
Only one team is qualified to get patients back to living their lives. Bluegrass Orthopedics has physician experts to assist in your recovery, whether it's an injury or chronic condition. Bluegrass Orthopedics provides convenient, specialized, and comprehensive care for your unique life.
At Lexington Diagnostic Center, we love athletes.
We understand that when you are injured, the results of an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray can be the only thing keeping you off the field.
And that's what we're here for.
Same or next day appointments, front door parking, and our on-site radiologists make it easy for you to quickly get the results you and your doctor need. Call and compare prices.
We can save you hundreds of dollars.
We would love to help get you back in the game.
At the Lexington Diagnostic Center.
Take a little walk with me. I'll keep you in good company and be there for you till the end. You'll never be alone, my friend.
Hi, this is Gary Ball for Crown Trophy of Lexington. Crown Trophy offers youth sports awards, corporate awards. They offer signs and a full line of promotional products. They're located at 2680 Wilhite Drive on the corner of Nicholasville, New Circle Road, just behind Starbucks. Stop by and pick up your copy of our 85-page catalog. Crown Trophy is nationally known, but locally owned with 150 stores nationwide. Crown Trophy, the official provider of plaques for the Scholastic Ball Report and PrepSpin. Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
Welcome back to Lexington's Tates Creek High School, Roy Walton Stadium. It's the homestanding Commodores on top at halftime of Henry Clay, 21-0. Darren Douglas here to take you through halftime along with Coach Mike Meehan. And, Coach, real quickly, Henry Clay right now their own worst enemy.
Yeah, they've made some big mistakes, especially the one early, the fumble early that gave Tates Creek the easy touchdown. But again, you know, these two teams have played each other for many, many years, and I expect a lot more in the second half. First of all, I want to say something real quick. Across the field, those of you who are watching on TV, I don't know if you had a chance to see it or not, if William focused in on it, but maybe we'll get him to do that later. Coach Don Young, a good friend of ours, a wonderful person who's lived in this city for a long time, been involved in many programs, coaching. Donnie, he helped me at Dunbar. He coached at Bryan Station and at Lafayette. He has a dragster over there, and he drives that dragster around the state and lets little kids get in, takes pictures, and it is a sponsorship for People Against Drugs. Nice. He wants to make sure that kids understand his philosophy. Listen to your parents, do what they say. They're the ones that love you. Stay away from drugs, and lead a healthy lifestyle. So, congratulations to Coach Young. Again, welcome back here. This is the Fayette County Kickoff Classic, Darren, and they started out with 2 really good games here.
Oh, yeah.
Henry Clay, again, right now behind a very good Tates Creek team, 21-0. We'll see. Well, this is also on PrepSpin.com, the White Greer Maggard Game of the Week. And so that's something we really, really are happy about, the sponsorship we have. Mingy Beef Jerky, quite a few others you'll hear as the game goes along. All right, we're going to start this off with what we call our UFO Awards. Now, let me explain what that is. A UFO Awards, we came up with that about 6-7 years ago, and it stands for the Unheralded Football Overachiever. All the years that I coached in Fayette County, the one thing I noticed was that there are so many people involved in your program, whether it's the third-string running back or the third-string lineman or the booster president or just the guy that helps you line the field, the custodian that cleans up the field, just all these different people really get involved in your program, but they don't get any kind of credit for what they do, what they really contribute to the program. So we try to contact a coach from each team during the week and get that coach to give us the name and some information on somebody involved in the program who we would consider a UFO, an unheralded football overachiever. Now, we're going to start off real quickly with Henry Clay. Henry Clay's unheralded football overachiever is someone very well known to both of us probably, and that's Coach Marty Joyce.
Yeah.
Marty's been around. He played at University of Kentucky back there in the late 60s, 70s, and Marty's a good man. He's been an offensive line coach here. He coached with Don Danko, Clark County State Championship many years ago, back in probably, 91 maybe?
91, undefeated team.
Unbelievable football team, and Marty just does a great job. Marty has some physical problems. He rides a golf cart around. He does his coaching from the golf cart. He's on the sideline all the time. I've known Marty for many years. There is not a finer gentleman and not a better football mind. The 2 best football minds I've ever met in high school, Marty Joyce and Curtis Cotton. And both of those guys really can do a job that no one else that I know can do. Marty's funny. If you run into Marty at a restaurant or a neighborhood bar, Marty will immediately see you, at least me, bring over napkins and start drawing plays on napkins right there in front of everybody, and he can do it. He can come up with some offenses and defenses. So Marty Joyce, UFO, unheralded football receiver. Now for Tates Creek, we got a real special one, and Darren, you're going to help me with this.
Oh yeah.
When I talked to Coach Sims, he said, "Oh, there's only one person I'd like to go first, and that is Pops Ruddle." What a name! When I was coaching many years, Pops Ruddle was actually involved in the sideline, even though Roy Walton was the head coach at that time. Joe Ruddle was an assistant, I think, and Pops was around all the time helping out. Now, we sent our vaunted sideline reporter, Darren Douglas, down on the field, and he found Coach Pops Ruddle. And Darren's going to give you a little information about our man, Pops.
The first thing he told me, Coach, was when I sat down and we got ready to talk about some of these things, his long, illustrious career here at Tates Creek, he said, "I'm a man of few words," and it was very hard to get some information out of him on some things, but he's in his 32nd year as the equipment manager here at Tates Creek High School. The first 2 years, though, under Roy Walton, was the head man here at Tates Creek then. He was the head film crew guy. He was in charge of the film. He got to cut it up and edit it down for Coach Walton and those guys. And he said, "I knew where we were going to be with our offense because we didn't run anybody wide. It was a wishbone formation in the backfield. We were going to go straight ahead." He said, "I knew where we were going to go, so I didn't have to do any wide angle shots." But he said, "That's where I started from." And then he got, he said, promoted up to equipment manager a couple of years later by Coach Walton and the longtime legendary coach here in Lexington, who actually started over across town at Lafayette and made his way over here to Tates Creek. And I asked Pops, I said, "Pops, what is the biggest thing you've seen in your years here as equipment manager with Tates Creek football?" He said, "Well, we went from the 3 yards of cloud of dust under Coach Walton and then under my son Joe." And he said, "Then we went with Mark Willoughby after that. And it was similar to what we had run with the previous two coaching staffs, but it kind of got a little bit more going, a little bit more outside and stuff." And then he says, I said, "What was the big thing?" He said, "Well, I had to get used to Mike Harmon doing things, throwing ball all over the place."
Yeah, Mike was actually coaching with the Horsemen too.
Yeah.
And that time, and they threw the ball.
Yeah, he said I had to get used to seeing the football in the air a lot.
Right.
And then he said, Coach Sims, he said, "But I will tell you one thing. I've worked with 5 different coaches here at Tates Creek, and I have never once had a crossword with any of them."
That is
pretty amazing. And so that led me to my next question with him, Coach. And I said, "What? You hear about these kids being disrespectful and this and this." And he said, "You know what? In my 30-plus years here at Tates Creek High School, I've not had one kid disrespect me or their equipment that I gave out to them or anything like that." And and he said that with a smile and a wink.
Yeah, and
that's amazing.
And you know this, we called him Pops, and you could tell us how that came about. But the players call him Pops.
Pops, yes. He said, matter of fact, they come looking for him at times. They'll be, of course, they get their equipment. They look for him. They said, "Pops, I got a problem." But I asked him, I said, "How did that name come about?" And he said, "Well, I was the equipment manager on my son Joe," and he said, he came to me one day and said, "Dad, we can't have 2 Coach Ruddles running around here because we're both going to be answering to hey, Coach Ruddle." He said, "So I'm just going to call you Pops."
Yeah, no.
And it stuck, and the team started calling him that, and it's been sticking ever since. And if you ever come to any kind of Tates Creek athletic event, Pops Ruddle is there. He loves football, but he is at every Tates Creek, at least home event, since I've been covering sports in Lexington for the last 30 years.
He's been around a long time.
His
son Joe was a really, really good coach. Now, I didn't like Joe. I'll tell you why. Because he beat me. That's why I didn't like him. But I always respected him as a head coach and his knowledge of the football game. So what a great family that is.
Very good family.
And one last thing. I know you've worked around football. You've been in Woodford County involved with that program. How important is a guy like Pops Ruddle?
You got to have him. You have to have people like Pops Ruddle in a program, because if you don't, then the coaches are the ones that falls to. And he takes care of all the equipment, any broken things, any equipment problem, a ripped shirt or whatever. Coach, Pops is there to fix it. And you got to have those type of people in the program, and everybody's had them over the years. And I told him I would do this for him. I'm going to tell our viewers out there, Coach, Sunday, August the 20th, Pops Ruddle has a birthday. He will be 84 years young.
Awesome.
And I tell you what, he doesn't look 84. If you see him in person, he looks in his 60s at the very oldest to me. And a great man and a gentleman. And
Mr. Wilcox, just like you, Darren.
He looked at me as we were getting finished. He said, "Sir," he said, "make sure you tell Gary Ball I allowed somebody to have an interview because first thing I said, I'm up there with Gary Ball, and he said, I'm sorry." But that's Pops, though. Yeah. Pops will dig at everybody, and if you come to a Tates Creek event, you've never been at a Tates Creek game and felt like you were there unless Pops gets you with a dig before you leave.
Well, congratulations to, and thank you, Darren, and congratulations to our UFO, Unheralded Football Achievers, both from Henry Clay, Marty Joyce, and from Tates Creek, our longtime companion, Pops Ruddle. Let's take a look real quick. We got time for some statistics here. William, you need to go to break, or we just go right into statistics? All right, we're going to go right into statistics. Dan, you can comment on these things.
All right.
Score 21-0, of course. Tates Creek out ahead. Let's look at these rushing yardage first, all right?
Okay.
Henry Clay is 24 rushes for 50 yards, and Tates Creek has 20 rushes for 116 yards. Passes completed, Henry Clay is 4 for 6 with that one interception right at the end of the game, which, didn't mean a whole lot. And Tates Creek 7 for 10, 0 interceptions. So total offense, 98 yards for Henry Clay and 161 yards for Tates Creek. So Tates Creek is really dominating this thing. In a minute, I'm going to have you go over the individual statistics.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'll hand this to you in a second. Fumbles, Tates Creek has actually, let's see, they had 3 fumbles but didn't lose any. Henry Clay, that one big fumble they lost near the 10-yard line where Tates Creek took it in and scored. Penalties, 52 yards in penalties against Henry Clay, 25 against Tates Creek. Possession time, which is a meaningless statistic, 16 minutes for Henry Clay and 7 for our friends at Tates Creek. So I'm going to hand this to you. And
I can look right here, Coach.
Okay, Darren's going to give you a little individual statistics quickly.
Well, real quickly, we'll give it to you for the Tates Creek things. It's the LaRon Warner show. He has scored all 3 Commodore touchdowns, 2 on the ground and 1 in the air. He's got 10 rushes for 84 yards, 3 for 23 for Cameron Workman. Marcus Bosley's rushed 5 times for 22 yards, and Jalen Barnett 1 for 2. Receiving, Mason Gentry 2 for 31, 2 for -4 for Warner, but he has the 1 touchdown grab for Tates Creek. Nothing really going for Henry Clay offensively this afternoon so far. And we're back to start. As Gary Ball we'll get a 30-second break here on PrepSpin.com.
Well, we're going to just keep going into the second half again. The second half's getting ready to start again, 21-0. My friend, the potentate of play-by-play, Gary Ball, sitting back in his seat. Gary, we had a couple really nice UFOs. I don't know if you got to hear. We talked about Pops Ruddle, and we talked about Marty Joyce, and we're ready for a big second half here.
Yeah, it should be an outstanding second half, although I thought Tates Creek really dominated, of course, that first half. The numbers you guys gave kind of point that out glaringly. And this quarterback Workman, I think he's as good as advertised, Coach.
I think he is, and he's showing great poise on the field, just doing a really good job. His reads are excellent. Coaches are really happy with the way he plays. Tates Creek's got a good kicking game. Their kicker's kicking the ball in the end zone. I'm telling you what, they look like they're pretty well balanced. Your buddy Hawk, who coaches the receivers, he was talking about how good this team could be this year if they pull it all together.
You said a lot of potential, Gary, a lot of potential. He's exactly right. And, Coach, it will be Creek receiving the ball. Remember, they kicked off to start the football game to Henry Clay. Henry Clay actually moved the football pretty effectively on that opening drive, but then they stalled down in about, the 30, maybe the 25. They stalled. And then they went for it there, and that was not a very good play at all.
No, not a very good play. And that kind of gave the ball back to Tates Creek in a pretty rough situation. And Tates Creek looked like they were going to maybe mount a little bit of drive right at the end.
I actually ran into your man Pops down at the concession stand when I was getting some drinks.
What'd you bring me, a hamburger?
We'll get that in between games. The concession people are really nice. I did grab do you like Pepsi or Mountain Dew? Neither one?
Neither really. I like water, but.
Okay, sorry. I should have got a water for you.
I'll sip on this Pepsi.
Yeah. I should have got you a water, Coach.
It's all right.
We're waiting for Henry.
I'm one of them healthy dudes.
Yeah. I like water too.
I don't know, the officials on the sideline are having the long discussions with the Henry Clay staff over there, and so I don't know what's going on.
Let's put the glasses on him. Now the white hat's out there. He's talking to Sam Simpson. Yep.
Sam's looking pretty good. Sam's lost some weight. He
lost about 70
man.
pounds.
Sam looks good. I tell you what, he must be living well right now.
Said he lost about 75 or 100 pounds, and he's driving a convertible now.
Well, good for him, man. I tell you what. After all these years coaching at Henry Clay, wow.
24, coach. 24 years as the head coach. Tates Creek at halftime here. We're set for the second half. They lead 21-0. We will have Lafayette and Bryan Station coming up about 25, 30 minutes after this one. What do we expect in that nightcap? Lafayette, of course, coming off that trip to the state finals against Trinity. And Bryan Station will see Cornell Burbage's son, Jalen Burbage, at the quarterback spot for Bryan Station tonight.
Quick, good feet, good runner. Both teams are fast. I expect a high-scoring game in that game.
So let me get my
ready
back out here as we get ready for the second half kickoff. Warner back deep, the lone man back there. Here's the kick, and it's a high kick. It will be Warner from about the 10. Warner to the 15, Warner to the 20, Warner to 25. Warner dances 30. He's got some room, 35. Tried to tightrope the sideline, but goes out of bounds. And the official's going to mark him out at about the 37-yard line. But a nice return there by Warner. Coach, what can't he do?
Yeah, he did a really good job of bouncing outside. He used the sideline, and so did the defense. Defense used it as the that 12th defensive player. He had nowhere to go, but that was a nice run.
So here comes the Commodores offense led by Cameron Workman. 7 of 10 in that first half. One touchdown to Warner. Warner had 3 TDs in that first. He was definitely the star of the first half, along with that great lineman you and I both like, Hayden Gant.
Both of them making the big plays that you need in a game like this.
Workman out of that shotgun at the 37. First down on the return by Warner, and gives it back inside of the backup running back. And, boy, he runs hard up to the 45-yard line. And for the Commodores, that's going to be White, Keontae White.
I think big number 79 made that tackle for Henry Clay.
Gross,
yeah,
280 pounds.
280 pounds. Jordan Gross.
Yeah, big kid.
Yeah.
76, a big dude, too. Thomas there, seam number 76 at the he's 350.
We have a whistle here.
White took the ball, but penalty marker down as we start the second half. 11:20 to go in the third period with Tates Creek on top of Henry Clay, 21-0.
That flag was thrown by the back judge back there.
Yep.
Illegal substitution.
That seems to be the call.
You can't decline the penalty, Coach. It's a dead ball foul. Take the penalty.
Yeah. Jordan Kimmel was hurt and didn't get off the field in time. Antoine Sims out there. Of course, Antoine played college football at Louisville and played arena football for the Horsemen. And, Coach, when I did the Horsemen radio back in the day for Lenny House and the Horsemen, Antoine got injured, and he was my color guy for a few games when he was injured on the injured reserve list. Did the color with me. Antoine can do it all.
He's a really good athlete, too, when he played. And right now he's a pretty good coach, but he's not happy about something.
First down takes it up near midfield for Tates Creek.
I don't know what he was discussing with the official.
They're waiting on one guy to move down here is what it is. Yeah. So they finally moved him. Tates Creek has it up near midfield here in the third period. Cameron Workman. Inside handoff to White again. White down to about the 48.
They're winning the battle on the line of scrimmage, Tates Creek is. Henry Clay defensive linemen are a little too high, and they're getting under their shoulder pads and forcing them out. So,
middle linebacker Benton, Coach, made that play defensively. Second down and 8. Cameron Workman out of the shotgun. Slant pass, caught, 35. He's gone to the house, and that's going to be number 8. That is Clay, Devontae Clay.
Another speedster. We've heard about these Tates Creek receivers and how fast they are, and we saw it right there. Really nice play call, a little slant pass against that 3 deep. Got inside the corner, and he was gone.
Devontae Clay, backup receiver, with the touchdown catch. Makes it 27-0 Commodores. Lafayette, Bryan Station will battle after this one. Coach, this is quickly getting out of hand for Henry Clay.
It is getting out of hand, and I just don't. I don't see Henry Clay's defensive line having much to do with this game right now. They're not putting any pressure on the quarterback at all.
No pressure at all. Dozer Combs with the extra point makes it 28-0 Commodores here with 10:43 in the third. We'll return here on the PrepSpin White Greer Maggard High School football game of the week with our producer, the King of Stream, William Warfield, Gary Ball, Mike Meehan. 28-0. Tates Creek will be back on the White Greer Maggard game of the week.
Man,
I wanted to get back on the basketball court. I want to get back to the ref I used to be.
I want to get back to gardening.
I want to get back to playing with my band.
Only one team is qualified to get patients back to living their lives. Bluegrass Orthopedics has physician experts to assist in your recovery, whether it's an injury or chronic condition. Bluegrass Orthopedics provides convenient, specialized, and comprehensive care for your unique life.
It's like a no-hitter. You never bring it up, do you?
At Lexington?
I know it. That's a no. That's a no-no. All right, Gary. 28-0 Commodores. And, Coach, what's Henry Clay, what they got to do here to get that offense going? They've been shut out so far here.
They're going to take some chances now. They can't just sit back and do things. And what they've got to do maybe is open the game up a little bit, run some screen passes, try to break somebody free. They've got some players. They've got some speed. They've got some kids that can break them.
Yeah.
They just got to get the ball to them some way. I know that when this type of offense, they're like 3 or 4 different screens they can run. They can run the
tomorrow night you can catch Matt Calvert and Darren Douglas. They got the Woodford County game over at the Danville Bowl game over in Danville, Coach. And who's Woodford playing tomorrow night?
I don't know.
Well, Darren's gone. Of course, he's never here when you need him. But
I know.
But Woodford plays tomorrow night, and you can catch that game on PrepSpin.
Woodford's struggling right now. They just don't.
Yeah,
have
they got
the size
completely.
or anything.
They got completely thrashed by Lafayette in the scrimmage last week. Here's the low kick, bounces around, and Tyree Clark takes 25. Clark up, nice return by Tyree Clark up to the 31-yard line. Nice 15, 16-yard return by Tyree Clark, the senior for Henry Clay.
Yeah, this should be interesting. Tates Creek, hopefully, right there at the end right there toward the end of that half, defensively, they let themselves down a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the coach talked to them and said, "Hey, look, there's no way to do that. You can't do that right now. This is a big game, and you want to keep the foot on the pedal."
Bryan Station, Lafayette coming up later tonight right here on PrepSpin. Coach and I will give you the action on that one as well. Next Friday, we got a great doubleheader for you. Rolling to the right. Van Horn throws, and he might have been past the line of scrimmage when he threw that. Boy, he paid for that, too. He has hit real hard as he released the ball, and he's still down on the field.
Right. He lost track of where he was on the line of scrimmage and passed the line of scrimmage before he threw it. Actually, he had some pretty good yardage running the football there if he'd have just kept it.
His linemen are there checking on their quarterback, Van Horn.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be okay.
Bell's shaking up a little bit, too. I believe Darrell Bell Jr. delivered the hit. Is that correct, Coach?
Yeah, I believe so. And yeah, you're right. He was.
He's shaking
up a little bit. He came off the field, not.
Yep. So players are down now with the injury. 10:29 to go in this third quarter, and it's been all Tates Creek. And Coach, where do things go wrong for Henry Clay, you think, in this game?
I don't know. Maybe they just don't have it right now. Maybe they're just 2 or 3 weeks away from what they wanted to accomplish. That first fumble that they gave up that followed with the passing touchdown hurt them. And again, their defensive line is struggling right now. They're just not. They're not stopping the run and not getting any penetration. And it seems like they're just not quite ready to play football. But again, it's a good coaching staff over there. They'll get him ready. But right now, Tates Creek's showing all the muscle right now.
By the way, that game with Mac and Darren tomorrow night on PrepSpin, that's audio broadcast only. Wayne County and Woodford at 5:30. Then following that, Coach, they're going to have the Danville-Frederick Douglass game, the first ever game played by Frederick Douglass. You can hear the audio of that right here on PrepSpin tomorrow night.
The Freddie D. Broncos, right?
The Broncos, yes, sir.
Yeah, Freddie D. Broncos. Yeah, they'll be interesting. Good, tremendous coaching staff over there. In fact, in the administrative area, we know some people, right? Mike Harmon's over there, right?
Mike Harmon's over there, and, of course, Lester Diaz, the principal. I know him from the Horseman days. A lot of Horseman connections in Central Kentucky right now. Of course, Gary McPeak, the AD over there. Hand off up the gut, and running hard is Henry Clay.
Nice!
40 breaking tackles to the 30 and finally run out of bounds at the 25-yard. It's Isaiah Atkins. He was listed as their starter. The first time I believe Mr. Atkins has carried the ball tonight, and I wonder why that's his first, because he looked really good on that run.
He did, really quick through the line of scrimmage. Made a great break to the outside. Got on the sideline, and he had good yardage. All right, Henry Clay, let's see what you can do here. Tates Creek, they got to buckle up too now.
That was a gain of 55 yards on one run, or 45 yards by Atkins. 45 yards. That's a pretty good average, Coach. One carry, 45 yards for Atkins.
It is, considering they only had 55 yards total in the first half.
So Bo Carroll, the quarterback now, gives to Atkins again, bouncing it outside. Atkins won't go down easy, still on his feet. Boy, Atkins running hard. Where's he been, Coach?
I don't know, but I tell you what, he's really showing something right now. He's not happy with the fact that he was sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
So he's going to show people he can run the football.
Deontay White.
Again, they're spreading the field, Coach. It looked like they're running that little seam up the middle, maybe a little read play. Let's see.
2nd down and 8 for Bo Carroll. Van Horn was shaken up a few plays ago. He's out of the game now. Carroll rolling to the left, sets, throws high, and incomplete. He had a receiver down there, in Ramon Jackson, the ex-receiver. Threw it about 2 feet over his head.
Yeah, that was something that Bo has to work on. I'm sure he will. When you're rolling to your left as a quarterback, it's difficult if you're a right-handed quarterback to make that throw. You've got to snap your shoulders around. You got to take that front shoulder and point it to your receiver.
Yep.
And he didn't do that.
How about this weekend of football? Tates Creek and Henry Clay here. Bryan Station Lafayette coming up later. Darren and Mack have Woodford and Wayne tomorrow night, and after that, Frederick Douglass and Danville. That's a pretty good weekend of football on PrepSpin.
Yeah, and I think Lexington Christian's playing somewhere too on another network, but I think
you can catch that game on PrepSpin tomorrow night as well.
Dunbar's off. They're not playing right this weekend, I don't think.
Yeah, they open up. You're right. They open up the 25th.
This is the 0 week. Now, people don't understand it.
Yeah.
I told my one of my sons, I said, yeah, this is 0 week.
Hey,
said,
you got
what do you mean a 0 week? What's a 0 week?
You got any folks watching anywhere tonight?
I do. I believe I do. I believe I have my friend in Pittsburgh watching, and maybe Major Ben Meehan and his family in Destin, Florida.
I remember talking to Ben at the wedding. What a nice young man.
Fine kid. Good leader.
3rd down, fumbles the ball. Carroll picks it up, and he's going to pay for it.
There's nowhere to go.
As he's dropped, and right on top of him, Coach, was number 24 there, and on top of him was Bird.
Yeah, Bird jumped on top right away.
Bird came in and made the big hit, 4th down. Seems like every time Henry Clay gets something going, they bobble a snap or they fumble the ball or something, and that kind of slows their momentum.
Yeah, Darren Douglas, when we talked at halftime, that's the first thing he said, that they keep shooting themselves in the foot, and that's another great example right there.
4th down and 7. Won't be enough bullets in that gun. He fumbles the ball. Carroll picks it up, hit, and he'll be dropped and sacked all the way back at the 35-yard line.
No, he's hurt.
Coach Simpson and Salin, they're coming out. As looks like Carroll might be shaken up as well, Coach.
Yeah, well, he's on. He stood up. He's up. He's up and out. Boy, I tell you what, again, fumbling the football, and this Tates Creek defense, they're taking advantage. They're like hungry wolves coming in there. They're all over the football when the ball hits the ground. So that leaves them 4th down here. And
that was 4th down. That turns the ball over to Creek.
That's right. Yeah, that gives them
so Creek will get the ball, Coach. That was 4th down. They botched 2 snaps in a row.
Yeah. Again, that was another quarterback came in. You know,
the 4th one they've used tonight.
Yeah, that's That's a questionable problem that you have. I tell you, it makes it tough.
Good crowd in here tonight. It'll be Bryan Station Lafayette coming up about 30 minutes after this one. 8.5 to go in the third. Commodores 28. Blue Devils nothing. Gary Ball, Mike Meehan. William Warfield producing. Side handoff to Bosley, the big fella. 35. Bosley rumbling, tumbling. 43-yard line, close to the first down marker. This kid's going to be a good one, Coach.
I like his size. He's a powerful runner, too. And they can alternate him. They can give him a rest. They bring quicker people in.
He is a good-looking sophomore, Bosley.
They're in that pistol formation. They like to run that, give that running back a little bit more room to make his cuts.
So Marcus Bosley.
What now?
Looks like they're going to measure for the first down. Bosley nearly got 10 yards on that carry. Coach, you mentioned his size, Marcus Bosley. A sophomore, already 220 pounds.
Yeah,
he is going to be a workhorse.
And he looks good at 220.
He runs well for his size, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
So they're going to measure for the first down for the Commodores, who lead 28-0, 8:14 to go here.
Short by about a foot.
Bennett helped out on that stop for the Blue Devils. Greg Couch is gone. He has left the team for Henry Clay. Said his heart wasn't into it, Coach.
And that's too bad. I mean, his family, he's the son of Greg, right? Greg's was Tim's brother.
Greg was a great player at Eastern in his own right. Of course, Tim, the All-American from UK that ended up being the number 1 pick by the Browns.
Well, I hope Greg settles down and figures out what he wants to do. What a great kid, too. I worked with him a little bit in one
he is a great kid.
Camps.
Smart kid.
Yeah.
Actually, a neighbor of mine lives down the street from me. Second down and inches. Workman looking, firing right side. He's got a receiver over there, and it is caught. What a great catch. No, did they? Yeah.
Yeah, they caught it.
He caught it.
He stayed in bounds.
That was a great catch there.
That was a really nice job.
Coached by Baird. Boy, Hawk has worked with these receivers, hasn't he?
He has, and that Baird kid is playing well on both offense and defense.
That was a great catch by Baird, as you see on that great shot from William Warfield on our high-definition camera. 8 minutes, what a great catch. Workman back inside. There's White. White to the upended at the 20-yard line.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you what, that was one of those things where he was actually gone if Langston Jackson wouldn't have made the tackle.
Oh, that might have been Jalen Barnett, number 20.
Yeah,
that was Barnett. Well, they have used, besides Warner, they've used Bosley, they've used Deontay White, and now they have used number 20, Barnett.
Depth and speed both, boy. You can't beat it.
Warner bouncing it with those fresh legs. Breaking tackles 15 down to the 13-yard line. See, that's what you get when you use Bosley, who's coming in there now, and then but it looks like a cramp going. It looks like Warner might be getting a cramp. When you use big 37 Bosley, who's a big kid, and then you use, Barnett, and you use Warner, those were those fresh legs. But I think Warner's cramping up on that.
Looks like it. The way they're stretching his leg. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Nice job by these trainers, by the way. They do a really good job in Fayette County and surrounding counties, actually, to take care of these kids. They're going to get them hydrated, get some juice and water in them. And,
I know whenever I play tennis and it's warm, it's a cramp. I always hydrate. You need to hydrate way before you play, Coach.
Way before
Not just during your play time. When you're playing, you hydrate before you play. Gatorade, whatever you need, and. I'm missing a big tennis tournament tonight out at Spindletop, big mixed doubles tournament. I know Bridget's playing in it, but you know what? Can't play in all of them, can I? I got to be here with my man Mike Meehan for high school football.
Yeah, I mean,
love it.
This is it. Football's
right.
season started.
That's right. And next week we got a great doubleheader. Good games tomorrow night with Mac Calvert and Darren Douglas. They'll have Woodford and Wayne at 5:30. Then following that will be Frederick Douglas against Danville. Boy, I tell you, Danville's loaded this year, Coach.
You talking about speed. Now, the only thing that Frederick Douglas might have a little more depth than they do. So we'll see.
Bosley back in there at running back with Cam Workman, who is 9 for 12, 114 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Fakes, looks to throw. Workman is going to throw it, and he's just going to get rid of it. That's a senior right there. Here's a late flag coming.
Yeah, because he didn't throw it past the line of scrimmage.
Right.
I think that's going to be a penalty, a grounding, illegal grounding against against Tates Creek. If you'd have thrown that ball past the line of scrimmage, you probably would have got away with it. But there were no receivers near him, and the ball didn't cross the line of scrimmage. So,
of course, our game's coming up for Coach Meehan and I next Friday night. We will be at the Bluegrass Bowl, Lexington Catholic. What a great game it'll be between the Knights and the Colonels of Covington Catholic, and a good ball game between the Ryle Raiders and this Henry Clay football team. That'll be our doubleheader next Friday.
I'm real interested in how our friends over there at Lexington Catholic come back this year and play. I mean,
well, they got Bo Allen back at quarterback. The kid that played as freshman played real well, and they've got, of course, Jones, a running back, should be back from that injury, shouldn't he?
Right, he was tough, boy. He was really something.
I think he was the biggest reason why they didn't go further in the playoffs.
I agree too. He was injured and out, and they just couldn't.
That penalty takes it all the way back to the 24, 3rd and 13 for Workman. Looking right, firing over there, and it's incomplete. Had the ball for the moment there to Bell, but then Bell dropped it.
Nice job of covering by Langston Jackson. We've said his name quite a bit.
Yes, we
have.
Good
defensive player, plays well on offense, too.
Looks like they're going to bring in their place kicker, which, of course, is Dozier Combs. And, Coach, you've already referenced his leg. This should be a chip shot for him.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. It's going to be a 41-yarder, it looks like, so we'll see if that's a chip shot for
distance-wise, he'll make it. We're just talking
it's going to be on the near hash mark.
Yeah, we'll see how his aim is.
So Combs, and he's a senior. And holding will be Luke Doobie, the sophomore. So Doobie will hold. Combs will kick near hash mark. It will be a 41-yard field goal attempt. And it is not going to get there. It's going to be off to the left and a little short. So the field goal is no good. 7:09 to go. Third quarter, Tates Creek Commodores 28. Henry Clay Blue Devils nothing here on the PrepSpin White Greer Maggard game of the week. And, Coach, that pass by Workman, that incomplete pass, drops him to 9 of 13. And we'll be back here on the White Greer Maggard game of the week with Tates Creek on top 28-0 over Henry Clay.
At Lexington Diagnostic Center, we love athletes.
We understand that when you are injured, the results of an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray can be the only thing keeping you off the field.
And that's what we're here for.
Same or next day appointments, front door parking, and our on-site radiologists make it easy for you to quickly get the results you and your doctor need. Call and compare prices.
We can save you hundreds of dollars.
We would love to help get you back in the game.
At the Lexington Diagnostic Center.
Back, and they've got Van Horn, who was injured, shaken up earlier back in the game. He tries to rush it off the left side, and then he's Hayden Gant in there again, Coach. And he has been the Chris Spillman of high school football tonight. I know I'm giving away my age, but Chris Spillman was that linebacker, All-American backer for Ohio State back in the day that led the country in tackles.
Well, I think that Mr. Gant here is somebody you better put a hat on.
My
figure
goodness.
out where he is every play.
Kid's got game. Remember, he was shaking up a little bit earlier in the game, that right arm a little bit on that tackles you talked about.
He got a stinger maybe.
Second down for Van Horn. Quick pass left side, caught. Looks like Jackson's got it up to the 22. That's a very little gain. So Coach can bring up 3rd and long for the Blue Devils.
I think they're trying that little quick screen, they call it. A quick screen is just when the wideout just takes one step forward, steps back, and catches the football. They also have that jailbreak screen, slip screen we call it, where they catch the ball coming back to the line of scrimmage and cut up field.
Van Horn, 5 of 6, 44 yards, Coach, the quarterback for Henry Clay. McMullen, Gann out to the bottom. Jackson, both of them out to the top. Van Horn, straight back drop, throws, caught by Jackson.
First down.
Great job coming back for the ball to 31 by Ramon Jackson. He gets the first down. That's just the receiver making a play for his quarterback, coming back for the football.
Absolutely, and the ball was thrown low. He came back, and because the ball was low, there wasn't a chance for anybody else to get it but Jackson,
Exactly.
So nice job.
First down for the Blue Devils. We'll check their – that is the 9th first down for the Blue Devils, 14 for Tates Creek in this game.
There it is.
And it got Atkins again. Boy, he can run. Atkins running hard, but this time only a couple of yards.
It just can't. They can't block the middle guys. They just can't seem to budge them at all.
Henry Clay dominating time of possession. 18 minutes, 23 seconds to 10:28 for Tates Creek. Obviously, Tates Creek's been more productive with their 10:28 coach.
Right, they have.
Third down efficiency. Clay 4 of 9. Creek 3 of 6.
Yeah, this is a big second down. They've got to get at least 6 yards on this play just to keep this drive going. It's very important.
Second down and 8. 4:43 to go in the third. Big lead for the Commodores, 28-0. Rolling left, Van Horn sets. Now cut, reverses back near side. Almost went down. Keeps his balance, being pursued and sacked all the way back at the 15-yard line.
Just can't do that. Against some teams, you can run over, run back, run around back there.
That was Deontay White, the linebacker, who got him.
You're not going to do it against a well-coached, fast Tates Creek team. Well, they have got themselves in a very prodigious situation here.
Yes, sir.
They're behind by a bunch of points, and they're going backwards.
They're going to call a timeout. I believe Salem Simpson, the former quarterback at Clay, Coach Simpson's son, is calling the offense, isn't he? Still, Coach McMahon?
I think so, yes. Nice guy, too. What a good family they are.
We'll step out on the White Greer Maggard Game of the Week.
Take a little walk with me. I'll keep you in good company and be there for you till the end. You'll never be alone, my friend.
Hi, this is Gary Ball for Crown Trophy of Lexington. Crown Trophy offers youth sports awards, corporate awards. They offer signs and a full line of promotional products. They're located at 2680 Wilhite Drive on the corner of Nicholasville, New Circle Road, just behind Starbucks. Stop by and pick up your copy of our 85-page catalog. Crown Trophy is nationally known, but locally owned with 150 stores nationwide. Crown Trophy, the official provider of plaques for the Scholastic Ball Report and PrepSpin. Folks.
Coach, what do you dial up? 3rd and 29 if you're Henry Clay, and you've kind of struggled on 3rd down, 4 of 9 efficiency.
Nothing, because they're in a cover 4 back here, and they're not going to let you do anything. They're probably going to play. Oh, they rolled over. That's cool.
Pass complete to the 25-30. Out to nice catch
job.
And run there by Jackson as he takes it out to the 35. That's a nice 20-yard pickup, and Bell came up to make the stop. If Bell doesn't make that play, Darrell Bell Jr., Raymond Jackson's probably got the first down.
Oh, easily. He could probably got to the 50-yard line on that.
But they needed 27. They got 20.
A big loss on the previous play. Well, Tates Creek dropped all the defensive backs into a cover 4 look, and when Henry Clay motioned, they rolled out of it.
And because of those cramps by Warner, they've got Darrell Bell Jr. back to receive this walled punt. Low kick, Coach.
That's fine, a little rugby look.
Bounces, takes a Tates Creek bound. Now Henry Clay roll back to the 36 with Bell Jr. back to receive. 3:16 in the third. Coming up after this one, it will be Lafayette Bryant Station. And coaching that one, of course, no Walker Wood for Lafayette. They got a new quarterback, but I do like the athleticism of the young man that will be at the helm tonight. For the Generals. And, of course, we're talking about Teontre Newcomb. We both remember him last year as a great receiver.
Right. They moved him from receiver to quarterback because they want to have somebody back there that can move around like Walker.
He's probably the best athlete on the team, they say.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's going to be tough to beat this Tates Creek team the way they have. Their athletes. But
Bosley, the sophomore, rumbling, 40. Bosley, boy, this kid's going to be a bruiser.
Yep.
Let's look at his numbers after we WL Stats. They do a great job. As we refresh Mr. Bosley. Maynard helped out on the stop. We show Bosley with 8 carries, Coach, 56 yards.
Yep.
That's 7 yards a carry.
And that's that replacement guy that just pound for you.
And there's a first down up to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, Tates Creek's going to eat the ball now. They're just going to run the football and see what they can do.
That was Barnett.
I'm sure your buddy Hawks over there yelling, let's throw the ball, let's throw the ball.
Yep. Yeah, Workman's 9 of 13, Cameron is, 114. Does have the 2 touchdown passes. We got a new quarterback in there. Handoff, I believe that's Big Bosley on the carry.
Right, number 4 for Tates Creek in the quarterback.
That new quarterback is Luke Doobie, the sophomore. So Doobie in, sophomore quarterback, just making sure your senior leader Workman doesn't get injured. And then, of course, you've also got Keontae White, the linebackers, in there running back now. Motion by Bauer. Here's a pass, and it's caught by the freshman Coffey down to the 34-yard line. Well, that's a nice slant throw there by Luke Doobie, the sophomore.
I think this is your future quarterback. He had absolutely perfect form on that. Beautiful throw, shoulder high, nice aiming point, feet were good, nice and solid throw. Really nice.
First catch for the freshman Coffey, who Jonathan Hawks raved about today when we talked to the receivers coach for the Commodores. First down to the 33. Handoff goes to White. White keeping his balance and down to the 25-yard line. Well, White should have been stopped at the 28, coach, but he said, no, I'm not going down there. And he drug him down to the 25.
It was a really nice job. Jackson made the tackle, but again, these secondary people are having to make a lot of these tackles. We're not seeing a lot of work up front.
We're late in the third, 28-0. Minute 32 in the third. Handoff Bosley. Bosley won't go down. That initial hit's not going to take him down. Even though it was big number 79, Jordan Gross, 280-pounder, he still didn't go down.
Yeah, he went forward. The running back went forward and gained some.
It helps to weigh about 230, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Goodness. Back in is Barnett at running back with Doobie. Minute 22. Handoff to Barnett, trying to bounce it outside. Breaking tackles, Barnett, and finally he's going to be pulled down back at the 32-yard line.
Yeah,
Jackson got him.
Yeah, Jackson got him, and somebody else had a hold of his jersey. Who was that, 35?
35 was Maynard.
Maynard had a hold of his jersey, wouldn't let him go. Hey, Henry Clay has on that play there, they've lined up man-to-man all the way across the field. So they're doing what I thought they would do. They're saying, okay, you're going to have to beat us by throwing the football.
Pump fake, Doobie throwing deep down the middle. It's got a receiver, touchdown.
Yeah. And they did.
Great job.
Lost track of their man. Little confusion.
That was Gentry, I believe, 18, who hauled that one in. Mason Gentry, yes, it was, sophomore. Well, they got some great receivers at Tates Creek this year, Coach.
They do. They throw the ball well. The quarterback's coming in there and take a substitute quarterback's throwing the ball on the money. There's a little broken coverage back there. Both the safeties were confused. It looks like the receiver just ran between them.
So here's the extra point from Dozier Combs that would put them up 35-0. And they stop the kick. They blow it dead before he gets the kick off. So Doobie comes in 2 for 2, 48 yards, and the 32-yard touchdown strike, Coach.
Amazing. Beautiful throw again.
Yeah, right down the middle to Gentry. Right. What's that, the sixth receiver that has a catch tonight for Creek?
Yeah, and a couple good quarterbacks throwing the football.
Yeah, the quarterbacks have combined for 11 of 15 for kick is up, and it is good. So 35-0 here with 42 seconds in the third. It's all Tates Creek. Commodores looking sharp tonight, leading Henry Clay 35-0. We'll return here on the White Greer Maggard. Also catch the Scholastic Ball Report, which resumes Labor Day weekend on the CW. We'll be back on the White Greer Maggard Game of the Week.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's the big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
My tax.
Gary Ball, Coach Mike Meehan, William Warfield producing. It's been all Tates Creek. They have looked razor sharp tonight, leading 35-0 here. Late in, when I say late in the third, Coach, we have 42 seconds left here in this third quarter, and Tates Creek's about ready to kick off to Henry Clay.
Yeah, it's been a quick quarter, but it's all Tates Creek.
Here's the kick. Tyree Clark from the 3, brings it out to the 10. Tyree Clark, and a nice return to the 23, about a 20-yard return there for Tyree Clark of Henry Clay. You know, you go back to a few years ago, Coach, when you and I did that playoff game at Meade County in Brandenburg with Henry Clay and Meade, and Henry Clay's great running back that year got stopped at about the 1 foot line. The program has kind of taken a little bit of a downhill turn really since that point.
I think so too, and of course Meade County was a really good football team, good team. But you're right, Henry Clay had a chance to win it. They ran the ball back, from like the 5-yard line all the way down to the 1 or 2 yard line, but then they went backwards. And
they were 3-7-1 last year. Henry Clay, Atkins running hard, 25. I like this kid. I do like Isaiah Atkins. He so far tonight has been really the lone spark carry with 3 carries, 50 yards, Coach.
Yeah, and he does a nice job of making his cuts. He breaking to the outside there. But again, you got to hold those blocks inside there. And Tates Creek gets to the football so quickly.
Henry Clay's trying to get a playoff here, but down to 8 seconds. They're going to head to the sideline now. That's going to do it for the third quarter. So we head to the final quarter. It's been all Tates Creek. The Lexington Tates Creek Commodores leading Lexington Henry Clay. Big city battle here.
Gary Durbin got the 1976.
Scholastic ball report coming up. Gary Durbin of the Legends, right? Gary Durbin, the winner of the $20 gift card from Ricardo's in Versailles. Congrats, Gary.
Way to go. He knows his football and his baseball. Way to go, Gary.
Gary Durbin, just a man about town.
The Legends. I love the Legends.
He is a legend.
Oh, man, I go to those games.
I know you love the Legends baseball.
I
do, too.
I got on the Kiss cam.
You did?
With my wife, yeah.
Did you give her a big
I laid one on her, buddy. I did. I'm serious.
Yeah, that was
Do you remember that?
Did King of Stream get that on the video?
Yeah.
You're a season ticket holder, aren't you?
Yeah. I got one of the mini packs.
Well, you might as well be a season ticket holder.
I end up trading tickets, getting in there as many games as I can. I love it.
Coach, we're here. It's 35-0. Bluegrass Preps, they've been around for a long time. They have the Bluegrass Preps poll coming up, number 6 in 6A Lafayette in the Bluegrass Preps poll. They will take on Bryan Station. And, Coach, how do you see that Lafayette-Bryan Station game?
I want to see how Bryan Station can handle that big, strong Lafayette offensive line. I want to see how they do. I know Jalen Burbage is quick enough on offense to get some things going, but, oh, man, that's going to be a good one.
Side toss, Jackson fumbles it, scooped up, and that's going to be a scoop and a score. Touchdown for Tates Creek. Baird there right to scoop it up and the score. And the Commodores go up 41-0, Coach.
Would you not say the ball's bouncing their way?
Oh, my goodness, that ball bounced right
into his hands.
Jaden Baird's hands, number 9. He scooped it, he scored, and it's 41-0 here with 11:52 to go. And, Coach, that's going to speed up that clock here now with that 41-point lead.
Yeah, we're going to do a running clock, and Coach Simpson and his staff are going to have to get back to the drawing board and figure out what the heck's going wrong. Do we have a schedule? Like, who do that Henry Clay plays next week?
Henry Clay plays Ryle. That's the game we're scheduled to do over at Lexington Catholic, the Bluegrass Bowl. They play Ryle, and then Lex Cath plays Cov Cath. So
man,
we'll see how much improvement. You know, they say a team makes most of its improvement from game 1 to 2. And Henry Clay's got a lot of improvement.
A lot of improvement.
So 11:52 to go in this one. 42-0. Reminder of things coming up as well. Tomorrow night, if you like high school football, catch the broadcast of the Woodford County Wayne game. And then after that, it'll be Frederick Douglass as they will battle Danville in the second game. Audio only on that broadcast on PrepSpin.
Hey, Gary.
LCA tomorrow in super high def.
That's right. So LCA tomorrow night. They play who? Wagner? Wagner out of Louisville, and that will be what time, William?
They moved the game back to 7:30.
7:30. So
super high def, he said.
Super high def.
Yep. Good stuff tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, this doesn't look bad from what I can see on our camera here, William. That doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah, I've got another friend. My friend Russ Whitney now has picked it up, and he's going to be watching the rest of this game and the second game.
Henry Clay, Lafayette, Bryan Station, Lafayette. Henry Clay right here losing 42-0.
You know, you think maybe Coach Antoine Sims over here is wanting to get that Mingy beef jerky? Does the winning coach get the Mingy beef jerky again? I hope they do. That's something I'd be playing for.
There's Thomas, and that kick, everything else has gone out of that's back. Coach, that almost went through the uprights.
It did.
That kid has a leg, doesn't he? What
does.
colleges are looking at this guy?
Well,
Coach, I believe with the running clock now, this will be a quick fourth quarter or so. But Bryant Station and Lafayette has been they've been the powerhouse the last couple of years. Knocked Scott County out of the playoffs the last couple of years, and kind of flexed their muscles a little bit. But Walker Wood is gone. Jed Wills is gone, who Nick's Coach Saban in Alabama is kind of raving about the true freshman down there, Jed Wills, saying he could be a starter this year as a freshman in Alabama. So he's obviously the real deal. But you do lose a Walker Wood, But you've got a fine athlete at quarterback this year in Tiantre Newcomb.
It'll be interesting to see both of these football teams.
Hand off to Clark. Tyree Clark up to the 25.
That's a good run. That's a good run. Old Tyree's pushing himself up in there. Henry Clay now, they've got to get something. They don't want to leave. They don't want to be shut out in this game.
Listen to these stats, Coach. Numbers don't lie. That's 73 yards rushing for Clay, 73 passing, 146. For Creek, 176 yards rushing, 162 passing, and that is going to be a total of 348.
Nice job. Yeah,
so they're more balanced by the Commodores. Also, but Henry Clay has dominated the clock. 23 minutes and 6 seconds of possession, only 13 minutes for Creek. So that just shows you that the time of possession means nothing, really. You got a 42-0 ball game, and the team losing 42-0 has the football 10 more minutes than the team up with 42 points.
Yeah, it makes no difference. With today's football, spreading the field and throwing the football, scoring quickly.
You're right, Coach.
It makes no difference.
You're right. Here's Clark. Tyree, right side, 25. Clark up to 28, but he's short of the first down. It'll be fourth down and about 2. Coach, if you're down 42-0, do you even bother to punt the ball?
Yeah, you do. You got to work on things. You know your punt team needs work just as well as everybody else. Although it's fourth and short, he might just go for it. What about tackles? I mean, when you get a chance, Gary, check the tackles and see up the clock for injuries and timeouts, and so that way the game keeps going. There's a
player down.
There's an ambulance across, but the ambulance is leaving the field. It's not coming to the field, so let's not worry, all right? They're checking him over.
That's a fire truck, Coach.
There was an ambulance.
That's an engine, a big fire engine truck that left. Player, he's getting up on his own power now. That's a good sign.
Right.
Yeah, it was big number 24, as we said, and that is Damari Bird.
Mr. Bird,
big senior linebacker.
Shaking up a little bit, but he's fine.
He's walking off. That's good. You always, Antoine, I tell you what, you just realize that when you look at that shot of Antoine Sims coming off, he's talking to the officials with the big white shirt on.
Yeah.
He is a big fella.
He is a big fella.
And he is yelling at his defense right now. He wants a shutout, doesn't he, Coach?
Well, he's got some young guys in there.
Yeah, he does.
And he wants them to play hard. He wants them to pick up the pace. That was a super run. But these young guys, they've got to bring him down.
How about Atkins? Atkins has 5 carries, 59 yards for Clay.
He's a
quick pass to Jackson.
Too long
and
to get there.
Nice play. You mentioned the young kids, and that's a nice play coming up from the secondary that is Elliott Bryant, a sophomore defensive back, making a nice play.
Now, this is a familiar name. At quarterback, that's Montavious Bean. We watched him play last year.
Yes.
He stepped in for Greg Couch and played some quarterback and really brought them back in one game we saw over at Lexington Catholic. Bean he's a small guy, but he's really, really quick.
Yeah, Van Horn, number 10, is back in there now, quarterback. Mm-hmm. Van Horn, pressure from the backside, and he is pulled down all the way back at the 20. What a hustle job there by Kenny. Hayden Kenny, the junior, number 15, making the play for Creek. Nice play by Kenny.
Okay, yeah. 10. Yeah, that's Van Horn. I have Bean on my roster. Whatever happened to him?
Well, looks like they lost a few players, Coach, from what I can tell.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was my mistake. I'm looking at a roster that's no good.
Yeah, that one, I told you there was a lot of changes on that one. This was the one they gave us. Remember, before the game they said that had corrected numbers and stuff. So we'll just go by this one.
We'll definitely go by that one. Screen.
Called by Atkins. He's got some room up to the 28-yard line. but it'll be 4th down and long for the Blue Devils with just 7:29 to play.
They seem to be losing those big yardages on 3rd down, and it gives them 4th and a mile every time.
Yeah. So Atkins, Coach, that's his first catch.
Well, they're going to punt the ball, and that's smart here.
Yeah, they trail 42-0, 7:09 to play. Clock will continue to run with the mercy rule in effect. 4th and long, and Lafayette Bryan Station will kick off about, what would that be, Coach, about 30 minutes after this one?
He said 30 minutes, so we're looking at about 8:45 maybe.
Yep.
So maybe 9 o'clock.
There's a kick by Graham Wald.
Pretty good kick.
Yeah, bounces 30. Coffee watches it back inside the 20. The freshman who has a touchdown.
Coffee needs to get away from it.
15-yard line. That's where they'll mark it.
Let's see if one of the coaches talked to him. Get away from those balls when they're rolling. That ball it's an oblong-shaped ball. It could take a funny bounce, hit you in the leg, and then the other team gets the ball. Henry Clay would love to get a break like that.
Tates Creek. Are they sending a message to the city here tonight, Coach, you think, the Commodores?
I don't know, but they're sending a message to me. That's for sure. I'm seeing some really good.
Loud and clear, right, Coach?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Some good football out of that team.
Creek's got a good team this year.
Yeah, they do. And Henry Clay's got a lot of work ahead of him. But, again, you learn and you go on.
So this will be Doobie back out there. Remember, he had the nice pass down the middle to Gentry on the last drive, 32-yard strike for the score. He's 2 for 2 with the 48 yards and a touchdown. Handoff to Bauer. And Bauer knocked down at the line of scrimmage. 5:45 to play.
You know, Gary, that's one good thing about football. One of the things I really like about it. A buddy of mine, Russ Whitney, we watch some football together, and we both feel the same way. Football teaches you lessons.
Yep.
And one of the lessons is you're in a position where Henry Clay is now, and I've been in that position before.
We all have.
And you have to fight through that. You cannot give up. You can't let people push you around just because you have an attitude problem.
Yeah.
You got to come back and you got to work hard. You have to set your pace so that you're improving all the time.
Willie McGee, the sophomore, carried the ball that time. Willie McGee. So, Coach, that's a good football name, Willie McGee.
Yep.
8 running backs have carried the ball tonight for Creek. And 6 receivers have caught passes tonight. So that's 14 players have touched the football tonight for the Commodores. Doobie looking down the near side, throwing it. It's out there, and he overshoots his man up at the 45-yard line.
He had 2 steps.
He had him out there, Coach, and that looked like that was 85, Miles Thomas.
Yeah, he had 2 steps on the defensive back, and that would have been a nice touchdown again.
Oh, yeah, Doobie lays that out there in front of Thomas. He's gone.
Yeah, Doobie's deep ball is not as good as his slant passes, it looks like, but he'll work on it.
4 minutes and 20 seconds to go.
Now, if everything goes well, 4 minutes to go, Henry Clay should get good field position.
Right.
Here. And they need to get something on the board, something that they can sink
their
their teeth in.
Their opening drive, they moved the ball pretty well. They picked up a couple big 3rd downs on that opening drive. That's probably their best drive of the game.
It was, and they made some mistakes, and the mistakes have hurt them.
Good punt, drives Clark back. Good punt. Clark will watch it roll back, out of bounds, inside the 25-yard line. Great punt.
People that know me know what I feel about letting punts roll. It drives me crazy. Every 10 yards that punt rolls is a first down you have to earn. That's the way I always looked at it. Catch the ball.
Coach, you know what that punt carried?
What?
60 yards.
Yeah, but it hit it 40 yards.
That's true. It bounced about half of that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or rolled anyway.
Oh, well.
Clock running. It's all Tates Creek. Commodores will go to 1-0 on the season. Henry Clay will drop to 0-1, and we'll find out later tonight. Bryan Station and Lafayette.
Van Horn still in?
I believe he is, Coach. Yep, Van Horn in at quarterback. Straight drop, throws it, and intercepted by the Commodores. Return down the 25-yard line. And, Coach, that was 27 there. That is McGee, Willie McGee.
Willie McGee. Let me tell you a little story. It's kind of interesting. And I've seen this recently with some teams. Every time a quarterback throws an interception like that, guess who makes the tackle?
The quarterback.
The quarterback. So there are some coaches that I know who As soon as the ball is intercepted, they have someone who looks for the quarterback to block him. As soon as the ball is intercepted, people turn around and they find the quarterback to block the quarterback because he's got the most motivation to make the tackle.
Yep, that's true. He's highly motivated.
Highly motivated.
At that point. So back in at running back is Jalen Barnett. Barnett's got it, bounces off folks. Barnett,
Not that
and he
time.
won't bounce off that young man. As dragging him down is
Number
Benton,
11.
Avery Benton, the middle linebacker.
Yeah, Benton.
Clock running, Coach. We just have 1:55 to go here, running clock. So this will be the last couple minutes of this game. And Coach, I tell you what, how can you not be impressed with Creek? Warner looked good. Started cramping a little bit late in the second half. Had 3 first-half touchdowns. I thought Workman looked like a senior quarterback.
Yes, he did.
And I thought the defensive lineman Gant almost took over the game in the first half.
Right, and also I think that the alternating the running backs like they did it really helped them on the first
Good
game
point.
of the year.
Creek has 8 running backs have carried the ball tonight, led by Warner with 11 carries, 92 yards. Bosley, the big sophomore back, 10 carries, 62 yards.
Yeah, see, that's what you do. When you have that kind of depth and you just wear a team down like that.
Creek will probably let as much time run as they can. Lights have been on here. Here's a quick pass near side, caught by Barnett out of the backfield, and he's going to be knocked down at the 20-yard line. Down to 55 seconds to play. Clock running.
They need to just touch up, put the knee down here.
Stay right here at PrepSpin for Bryan Station and Lafayette. About 20 minutes after this one, we'll have the pregame.
We get a little break.
Get a little break. Coach can take him a restroom break or get him a sandwich, whatever. Hamburger from the concession stand. Good crowd in here tonight, Coach.
Yes, really good. Henry Clay crowd stayed too.
Doobie rolling to the right. Doobie sets, throws deep in the back of the wide open, and it's caught. Touchdown in the back of the end zone on the old tip drill. And that is, Coach, that's number 85, excuse me. Coach, let me see the roster there. Yep, it was 85, Miles Thomas.
Beat the coverage, got behind the coverage, and that was salt in the wounds.
Yeah, Miles Thomas, touchdown, and that's how the game is going to end. It's going to end on that touchdown catch by Thomas. So Doobie came in and threw 2 touchdown passes to equal Workman's 2 on 4 for 5 passing. And then they won't even kick the extra point, will they, Coach, or will they?
Well, I think they have to.
No, I'm not sure what happened there, but so the final will be 48-0. The victory for the Commodores. And, Coach, it was, no pun intended, it was workmanlike fashion for Tates Creek.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that last touchdown. That seemed to me a little rough when they could have touched the knee down and ended that football game. But again, these coaches, they've worked together for years, so they know.
They just announced 40 minutes between games, Coach, so we got about 30 minutes before we have the pregame of Lafayette Bryan Station. 48-0, Tates Creek with the win, thanks to William Warfield, our producer, Darren Douglas for helping out, Coach Mike Meehan. This is Gary Ball, Tates Creek 48, and it was Henry Clay 0. We'll be back with Lafayette and Bryan Station in about 30 minutes here on PrepSpin, the White Greer Maggard game. Thanks to Bluegrass Preps as well, Mingy Beef Jerky. Great crowd, and then we'll come back in about 30 minutes. It'll be Bryan Station and Lafayette. It's all Commodores. The Doors 48, Blue Devils 0 here. And you watched it exclusively and live on PrepSpin, the leading digital network in the state of Kentucky. We'll be back with Bryan Station and Lafayette in about 30 minutes here on PrepSpin on the White Greer Maggard Game of the Week.
At White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics, we believe that greatness is in the details. Each decision we make is for the benefit of our patients and our community. This means using industry-leading technology to help you achieve your goals and uncover your perfect smile. Our precision and efficiency results in an experience that is both pleasurable and affordable. White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics, applying precision and elegance to your smile.
I wanted to get back on the basketball court.
I want to get back to the ref I used to be.
I want to get back to gardening.
I want to get back to playing with my band.
Only one team is qualified to get patients back to living their lives. Bluegrass Orthodontics has physician experts to assist in your recovery, whether it's an injury or chronic condition. Bluegrass Orthopedics provides convenient, specialized, and comprehensive care for your unique life.
At Lexington Diagnostic Center, we love athletes.
We understand that when you are injured, the results of an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray can be the only thing keeping you off the field.
And that's what we're here for.
Same or next day appointments, front door parking, and our on-site radiologists make it easy for you to quickly get the results you and your doctor need. Call and compare prices.
We can save you hundreds of dollars.
We would love to help get you back in the game.
At the Lexington Diagnostic Center.
Take a little walk with me. I'll keep you in good company and be there for you till the end. You'll never be alone, my friend.
Hi, this is Gary Ball for Crown Trophy of Lexington. Crown Trophy offers youth sports awards, corporate awards. They offer signs and a full line of promotional products. They're located at 2680 Wilhite Drive on the corner of Nicholasville, New Circle Road, just behind Starbucks. Stop by and pick up your copy of our 85-page catalog. Crown Trophy is nationally known, but locally owned with 150 stores nationwide. Crown Trophy, the official provider of plaques for the Scholastic Ball Report and PrepSpin. Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
My tax refund usually helps me out, but this year it was much lower than what it was supposed to be. This isn't enough to get me caught up. What am I supposed to do?
Is this happening to you? We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode.
Bankruptcy could be your best solution.
We're here to give you a fresh financial start.
Say no to debt. Get your bankruptcy started for as little as $78 today. The consultation is free in Lexington and now in London.
I used my credit cards over the holidays, and I thought I could make it work. But between the bills and everything else, I'm really starting to fall behind.
A lot of people out there are drowning in debt.
We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode. You can have a brighter future away from debt.
We've come up with a way to get you started for less.
Say no to debt. Get your bankruptcy started for as little as $78 today. In Lexington and now in London.